Okay, there we go. All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Art in the Morning. This is an impromptu, and we're going to color something out of this tattoo coloring book that we got. I say we because Darcy Glam and she was here last night. We did a 3-hour stream, and we had gone to the bookstore, and this is the one we bought. We each bought this one, and we colored in it last night. So anyway, today is one of our friends' birthday. Her name is Martha. Martha loves the skulls and the sugar skulls and Day of the Dead stuff. Frida and oh, let me show you while I'm here. Let me show you this. I have it. Keep it hanging on my wall. This is one of the things that Miss Martha made me and sent it to me. It's a Frida spoon. It's a spoon that she's painted. There's her signature and embellished, wire wrapped, beaded. That's the hanger right there. So let me kind of take you through it. And I know my light's going to be different on each thing. But this is what Miss Martha, there's a little skull right there, a little skelly there. And then this is all hand painted by Martha. It's a little, there we go. So Martha makes these, and this is one she gifted me. There's a little bird right there. Isn't it gorgeous? Yes, we streamed last night, Vicky. It's recorded. Me and Darcy Glam came over. So this is made by Miss Martha. You can see it's a large spoon. There you can see the size of it right there. And I keep it hanging on. I have a wallow pride, I guess, where some of the hanging things that people send me, I keep them hanging right there at the entrance of my studio. And so this hangs proudly right there. So anyway, so it's Miss Martha's birthday, so we're going to color this for Miss Martha. All right, let me hang her back up. And I have no plans, no anything to color them. I'm thinking though, I think I want these in, and Vicky's here. She likes the skull too. Don't you think, Vicky, that in the eye socket, the nose, and the side of the mouth, there should be black? Wouldn't that be the best to have that all black in there? And I'm wondering if I should just color it in with a Sharpie or paint it in with black paint. You know, in those areas, because that'll really make the brightness of the flowers if we color the flowers really bright. And sorry guys, it is going to keep flashing out every time I move. Let me try to refocus it though, because now that I've moved, let me get something to focus on here. Hopefully that's better. I don't know. I'm zoomed in. I think maybe I need to zoom out. Sorry guys, it just changes every time. I'll zoom out one. I'm just using this as a focus card here because I think it helps autofocus. Let me brighten it back up a little. We're going to try that. There we go. Yeah, black in there. But I don't know if I want to do it with acrylic paint or if I want to do, let's see, maybe move that a little bit that way. If I want to do it with marker or do I want to, oh, Jess is going to try to get me to do Copics. Leave them white and color the flowers pastel. No, I think we're going to do black and brights, Jess. We're going to go with the brights. Yeah, and so yeah, some sugar skulls have daisies in the eye sockets. That's true. This one doesn't have any daisies. Do I need to draw daisies in there? Look at all those flowers. Do I need to put daisies in there? You guys tell me. Hey, Sandy. How you doing? Good to see you. Has teardrops for eyes. Okay, I guess they're all different then, right? Yeah, okay. Can you show the spool? The spool recorded. I'm not, oh, the spoon? Oh, this, yeah, it's recorded. The spoon's recorded. I found you. Yeah, it's recorded. The spoon. Yes. Okay. So let's go ahead. I think I'll just go with a Sharpie. Now I'm gonna have to get up maybe a micron for the edges though, because it's pretty. And Sharpies have a tendency to kind of go gray or blue, so we'll see. But it's a one-sided, so it doesn't matter if it goes through. You know, if you're doing it in a book, you want to make sure if you're using any markers or anything. Now this is thick. This is like copy paper thin. Okay, it's like copy paper. Paint a little world in the eye sockets. Miss Vicky B. Look at all this I have to color. This is going to take a while as it is. I think I need to go with marker. This is probably going to be, well, this will be good for this, but it's going to be a little big for some of the other areas. But I'm going to color all the black background, and then I'm going to color the flowers. We're going for it. This marker's almost out. Okay, the other thing I noticed, I'm going to have to put something under here because I'm picking up the texture. Oh, good grief. Who's that? Is that my cable guy back again? Hang on, guys. Okay, I do not, hang on. All right, it was FedEx delivering an Amazon Prime box. And I don't know if y'all saw that thing on Facebook. And I don't, I know I didn't order anything, but let me say, I saw this thing on Facebook. It said, don't drink and prime. I think it was Mel. And it showed a picture of someone's front porch piled up with Amazon boxes. And the caption was, don't drink and prime. Somebody just sent me, and I don't see an address. It's Eileen. I just saw this. Eileen. ETEE. It's a gift from Eileen. Look what that girl did. Eileen. Oh my gosh, Eileen. We were just talking about these and that they're too expensive for me to try. So Eileen, oh my gosh. Let's bust them open, people. We're using them. Thank you so much. Try the white. Sandy, don't open it. It's sticking. Oh my God, Eileen, I've never even seen one in person. I've never touched one. We gotta pet it for a minute. Oh my gosh, they just delivered it right in the middle of a stream. How perfect is that, Eileen? So Eileen is my enabler elf. In this case, she's gonna enable me. She started me off with 20. Oh my gosh. Jess is going to make me buy Copics. Oh, let's pet for a minute. Wait a minute. We got to pet it for a minute. Well, I'm not going to lick them, Sandy. Sandy. You have no idea how hard it was not to say anything while I was talking about it. Yeah, because before I hit record, guys, I was talking about the kind of pencils I use, the 3 different brands I've tried. Well, 3 major brands I've tried. And we're talking about the Caran d'Ache ones, the Luminance, that Kathy Cass swears by. But they're like $5 or $6 a pencil. And so I said, I've just never seen them in my local stores, my Blick or anything. So Eileen, pet it, smell it, listen to the angels singing. Yes, I hear them. Don't make me try to make an angel singing sound, Vicky. You'll run from the room, Miss Vicky B. Well, wait for it, guys. We're going to enjoy the moment. But anyway, so let me ask you, Eileen, were you drinking? Did you drink in Prime? Eileen? Okay, so I'm going to keep my little thing in my little gift from Eileen. I'm going to put that in my journal. My non-dated journal, Miss Vicky B. My non-dated journal. I don't know if you were here last night. We were talking about journals. Last night, Vicky B, we're going to enjoy the moment. So just, Anyway, my friend Darcy came over and we did a 3-hour stream last night and we talked about planners. She has her two main planners is the one that you just reviewed, not the newest video, which I haven't watched. I just saw you put a new one up, Vicky B. But the other one is it called Happy Planner? Oh my gosh. I think Darcy is engaged to that planner. I think they have exchanged rings. I think they are engaged in that planner. Okay, so let's open it. It says Luminous 69. Ooh, the box is padded. I can feel it underneath. Oh my gosh. We're going to do a full review. We're going to do a whole review of this. Yeah, we haven't even started the skull yet. Look, it's a padded. They live in this house. They live in a padded house. They have a special house. I know, she does too, Vicky. You have to go, when you get time, to try to just, scan through it. Scan through that video. Hang on. We're sniffing now. It has its own scent. It doesn't smell like a new book. It doesn't smell like Crayolas. It has its own scent. I don't know, Eileen. Okay, so here we go. Permanent pencils with a smooth lead, exceptional light fastness. Crayons permanent. Oh, I'm going to start reading it in French. Crayon permanente. Spanish. Okay. And they're Swiss made, if y'all know that Caran d'Ache. Now, I do have the Neo Color too, the water soluble crayons, which I love. And I'm sure I'm going to love these too. They're just so dang expensive. Eileen. All right, so here we go. They each have their own little nook. They each have their own little pencil groove. Can you see that? They each have their own room. They each have their own room in the house. Okay, we're going to pet them for a minute. Hey, Jan. We're unboxing a set of Caran d'Ache 20 Luminance color pencils sent to me by Eileen, the Enabler Elf. Little gift. She says, "Hi, Dee Dee. You need to try them. LOL, Eileen." In other words, she's kind of like, how is it Bill Cosby used to say, a junkie dealer? Remember, I've told the joke before. It's a Bill Cosby joke from back in the 60s. Anyway, and so that's what you do. You get you hooked on these things. You get you hooked on a supply. Then you can't find them anymore, or you can't afford them. No, Jess, wait. Everybody says, scribble the white one. Scribble with the white one. All right, Jess, we'll pull out the virgin white pencil. It is called Permanent Color LF1. And then it has, I don't know, some other, right? I think it might be, there's the number, the code. It's hard to see because it's in light, it's in like a light gold color. Swiss made by Caran d'Ache. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm just going to pet it for a minute, Jess. All right, let's compare. All right, so this is, some black paper here. Well, I can't really tell on that. Let me get it because this isn't padded. It's just one piece of paper on the table. I need more padding. I gotta have some padding. All right, let me get out some black paper here so it can have a little cushion. A little cushion. Is the suspense killing you guys? Okay. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Ah. That's nice. They are bright white too. Now see, I have to compare how do they feel when they go over dried acrylic paint. That's my next thing. There's only 5 left in stock at Amazon, Eileen. Vicky B just said, there's only 5 left in stock at Amazon. Don't drink in Prime. Oh, it's nice. They are smooth. Smooth as silk. And I bet they don't break either, like Prismacolors, right? They're not going to break. Awesome. Thank you so much, Eileen. Oh my gosh, you know who's going to love these? She loves them, Eileen. Look, she's petting them. Oh my goodness. They don't break. Now, Dee Dee needs to order a bunch of the white. Well, I want to play. See, now, you see, you came in at the stream at the wrong time. Well, or the right time, whichever way you look at it. Christmas morning, it would take February. Oh my gosh, yes, we kind of do drag out the gift thing in Hubster. Hubster gets it from the grandfathers. I'm not going to say grandparents. He gets this kind of stuff from the grandfathers. Okay, let's go open gifts. Everybody gathers around. Okay, wait a minute. Let me make myself a soda. Oh, good grief, we're out of ice. I'll be right back. I'm going to run down to the store and get some ice. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with the ice. Oh, wait. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to make me a sandwich. Wait a second. That's grandfather's thing, you know? But yeah, we drag out the gift giving. I am savoring the moment. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to test the white on top of a color. You know, like I did the little acrylic test the other day with the, let's get a purple here. That'll be, now it probably won't show up very well in the black, but I'm just going to, just wait for it. It'll just take a minute. I'm just going to put out a drop. Uh-oh, I'm out of purple. I'll be right back. I got to go get her. There we go. I just had some crusty bits on there. Okay, so I'm just going to put out some purple here. Because what I want to do is test out the color. I want to test out the white on top of that. So hang on. I'm going to dry it first. I'm not going to ruin my pencil. So let me get a baby wipe. Clean off my hand. Let's do a heat gun. We'll get to the skull in a minute. And yes, we'll be using some of these lovelies. Wait for it. Yep, Sandy. Okay, so I think it's dry. All right, where's my pencil? Oh, here it is. All right, let's see what it looks like going over. It covers it nice. It covers it just great. Awesome. Now, see how much brighter it is? Let me show y'all here. See, when you go over acrylic, look how much brighter it is over acrylic than it is over the just paper. Can you see? Well, I know there's a glare. Hang on, guys. Let me... okay. Maybe we'll just... Let's come back to Mama. Here, let me get something that it'll read. Good grief. I got to turn the light off and back on. Okay. Well, anyway... It's the white is very vibrant over the acrylic. That's what I wanted to see. It is a big difference. It's so much more vibrant when you color over acrylic paint than it is when you just color on something. The acrylic paint just pulls the vibrancy of the pigment out. Oh, okay. All right. So here's, well, I don't know that we'll be able to really tell. There's just white on the plain paper, no acrylic. Okay, hang on. It's just so smooth feeling. And I can tell, look how it so easily shades out. See how easily that shades out? Okay, I know it's the, hang on, this is bugging me. Oh. Okay. Now, let's get the white. Prismacolor. And I can tell that it's, the white doesn't look that much different. This one is a little bit brighter, the Caran d'Ache, but I can tell a difference in the feel. I can tell a difference in the feel. And this one blends out quicker. I can get the tones quicker on this one. The Prismacolor doesn't want to tone out as easily. I'm having to really be careful with the pressure to like pull it out. I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully it does. This one, the Caran d'Ache, you could really just tone it. See, can you tell how easily that toned out? And black, I mean, a white pencil on black may not be the best test here. Okay. But it does feel different. Let me see if I can think of a good description. Well, I'm in the zone here. Let's see. Definitely can feel the wax in the Prismacolor. But it also doesn't, like, you know, I give it harder pressure and then kind of blend it out. You can do it quicker with this. With the Caran d'Ache, it blends out, fades out quicker than I can do with the Prismacolor. The Prismacolor keeps wanting me to push harder to get it to do, you know, it's just a little bit different feel. It's hard to describe. I've created, Jessica, Eileen, you've created a monster. Okay, I'll move on. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I'm excited. Oh, let's test it on the back of the craft color. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. This is on craft color, but dang, the lighting is just horrible. Okay, so we're going to do, here is the Prismacolor, and I'm pushing real hard, and then I'm just going lighter and lighter just to see how different tones I can get with the one white. Now let's do it with the Caran d'Ache. I'm going to push really hard and then just try to... It's just a different feel. And there's less, on the Caran d'Ache, there's less, I don't want to say tooth marks, but there's less pencil grain mark. Let me see if I can get y'all to see that. I don't know. I might, all right, yeah, you can kind of see it. Well, see how you can see all the marks? Now, I haven't tried to blend anything yet, but see how you can see the marks with the Prismacolor? You don't see those marks as much. It is awesome. Oh my gosh. I'm going to go broke. Eileen's going to bust me out. Broke. I'm going to be broke. With her and Copics from Jazz, I'm going to be broke buying these suckers. Maybe should have just got me a box of wine. Okay, we'll move on. Let's do another color. All right. I have to play. Yes, smoother, smoother. It is smoother, Jess. It does. It looks smoother, and it is smoother when I'm looking at it in person. So to me, that means that to try to get rid of any pencil-y marks, if you want to get rid of the pencil-y marks, then this will obviously be easier to do so. Let's go with a yellow and an orange and try to make a yellow and red and see if we can make a pretty orange. Okay. Is the pencil harder? It is. It's a little harder. Well, it's soft. They're very soft, but they don't feel as waxy. You can almost feel like the wax in the Prismacolor. You can feel the wax. Okay? These are as soft, but they're you can tell that the lead, or I know it's not lead, the pigment, like with the Prismacolor, you can feel it moving down. See how it's flattening out? You can feel it going down. Okay, you can feel it smashing, so to speak. These, it's not doing that. It's not mashing down as fast. Okay, see, look. See, it's not hardly mashed down at all. They're still soft, but they're not as waxy, but you can tell these are going to last a lot longer. The Verathins are harder, yes. The Verathins, the Prismacolor Verathins are harder than the Luminance by Caran d'Ache. Yes, that's right. The new pencils are not mashers. That's a nice way to say it. But look, you can see how quickly this one went down, and I pushed really hard on both of them. I don't know if you can see. They're both sharp. So it just doesn't go, you can tell they're going to last longer. But they are, let's do a little blend. Let's do it on white, though. Let's do it on white, because I want to take a red and a yellow and see what we can make with the orange. Let's just do it on, no, I don't want to save that. Let me get another piece of paper. Okay, so this is just a piece of cardstock. Oh, sorry, guys. The camera is just not behaving today. Hey. Okay. All right, so we're going to go with some red and yellow. And it's probably not going to show up. I know. Hey, Ash. All right, so let's just let's go down here. They feel really good. And by the way, this is a pencil show. And this is just 110-pound weight Staples cardstock. Okay, so I want to kind of do a longer line here. So let me get a little darker. Thanks so much, Eileen. This is awesome. So what I'm going to do is about like that. I can tell it's much easier to fade out a color. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the yellow and I'm going to go the other way over the top. So I'm going to start with a little bit more pressure. And see how they feel how they're blending. I don't know if y'all can tell. Can y'all see it? Yeah, you can. So it made a pretty orange with the yellow and the red. Because see, this is what red looks like when it fades out. This is what yellow looks like when it fades out. And here's where they combine. All right, now let me just do a little bit of, I want to try to do, get a real smooth blend. So I'm going to just take some, let's see what we can do here with like a cross hatching and see how I can get any pencil marks out of it, going back and forth and blending. I can what I'm being able to tell is if you take it takes a lighter, you don't need, it's a lighter touch. You can do more with a lighter touch. So I'm just going to do a couple of layers here and test the layering out. So are those last 5 boxes sold on Amazon? Don't forget, if y'all go to Amazon and buy these, to use Paula's A-Store code. What is it? Before everybody goes and buys. There's Paula's A-Store. Journal/038-20. Use Paula's code so she gets some credit, some couple of cents off. Well, she'll get more than a couple cents off one of these babies. Yes, I will try the colors on the black too. Wait for it, Jess. Let me finish blending out. I'm taking my time blending out. I want to see how pretty I can get it with no pencil marks showing. Wait for it. And I'm also seeing how many layers I can blend together. You know, how many coats of the pencil. All right, so let me go ahead and put the yellow right here, kind of dark, and the red, just so y'all can kind of see the individual color, and then the orange that I made. And oh gosh, guys, I'm so sorry. The color is not showing up. The camera just doesn't want to focus on white. All right, hang on. Let me try to brighten it up. It's so wonky in my studio when the window's open. Can y'all see the orange? There. There's the yellow and red, and there's the color I made. I hope y'all can see it. Paula got a penny from you on, yeah, I bet she got a couple of pennies off you on this. Well, then I'm glad. And so, Paula, if you watch this recording, oh, there she is. She's saying thanks, Eileen. So yeah, because I'm sure she got more than 2 cents off of this box. All right, so let's go ahead and do it. I'll do it on the craft and on the black. We got to color our skull for Miss Martha. All right, so let's test it out. Here it is. This is the red. It's kind of a red orange. It's kind of a reddy orange on the black. Here it is on the craft. So you see what a difference it makes? Let me go over it with, I'm going to go over the acrylic paint. All right, so there it is over acrylic. So there's the difference. If you have an underpainting of acrylic, see I have acrylic paint on there, and you go over it with color pencil, can you tell the difference without paint under it and with paint under it? See what acrylic paint does to your pencils, how much it makes them brighter? And here it is on the craft. And then here it is on white. Is that a kind of a good test right there? Okay, so I'm going to go run down. I know y'all going to hate. I got to run down and get me some coffee. Blame the grandfathers. Then we're going to come back and we're going to color in this skull, which I started coloring with markers when the doorbell rang. I started coloring the eye with a Sharpie marker, but I do need to get a new Sharpie out. That one I could tell was running out. So let me get a new Sharpie out. And then I do want to color it on top of something because this is just one piece of paper and it's textured, and I don't want any marks because this is thin paper. So I'm just going to put it on this thing, I think. All right, well, before I go get coffee, now I have to color in this one eye. Well, I don't know, guys. I think it'd be better if I just hold it up to the camera every now and then rather than zoom. When I zoom, it just loses its clarity. Eileen needs to start her own shopping channel. I know, right? Now, one thing about Sharpies, especially the wider tip ones, this is a brand new one, and so it's nice and pointy. But one of the things about Sharpies, they'll bleed out. So especially on this, thin paper, if you go right up to the edge of these flowers, it's going to bleed into the flower if you're not careful. So technically speaking, I really should go in close with my Faber-Castell, one of these kind of things, and go into right along the edge, because these aren't going to bleed like a Sharpie into the image. If I put the Sharpie right up against that flower, it's going to, the paper is going to suck up the Sharpie and it's going to mess up the edge of your design. But, if you kind of outline it with a permanent pen, I should say a pen, as opposed to a marker, then it won't bleed into your image. So let me just go around the edge here. I'm gonna go get some coffee, and we're gonna color with a few different things. Some of this I want to get in there with a tiny like gel pen because it's tiny, and then some of it I'm gonna shade like this little chrysanthemum here. Like I'll do the whole thing with a pink. Now, here's the problem with Eileen doing this to me. I've got 2 yellows, 1 orange, 1 red, 1 pink, 1 purple, 3 blues, a light, a medium, and a dark. It looks like maybe a violet. 2 greens. You see what I'm saying? A yellow ochre, a sienna, a red brown, a dark brown, a gray, and a black. I'm going to need 3 of each shade. She got me. Oh my gosh. Eileen, you're bad. Bad elf girl. Bad. All right, let me just go around. I'm just going in all the little crevices and outline it so that the Sharpie doesn't bleed into the image. I can just go right up to the pen line, rather up to the image line. It's going to look awesome when we get this done, guys. I'm telling you, bright, bright flowers with a black background on this skull. And again, it's out of this tattoo book right here. Ultimate Tattoo Coloring Book. I know I need the full range. I know, you're bad, Eileen. Hubster better get the prime shopping out Christmas here. This and Copics, Jess. Y'all are bad girls. Bad girls. Sandy. Sandy's still here? Sandy, you're not the only bad girl. I think she did a BRB. Sandy, you're not the bad girl now. It's Jess and Eileen. Okay, the other thing that I like to tell y'all too is if you are using like a Sharpie, which can leave, again, this is not a Copic, but if your Sharpie, it leaves kind of a blue, it's not perfectly black like a Faber-Castell brush marker or ink right out of the Sumi jar, the Sumi bottle. Then go over this after it's dry. Make sure your marker is 100% dry because it does take a minute for markers to dry too. But after the marker's dry, then you go back over the black because I'm not putting an undercoating of acrylic here. Go back over the marker with a black pencil to make it look like velvet, perfectly smooth. So you don't really have to worry too much about the Sharpie lines that it might be leaving if you go coat it again with a coat of black pencil. So it is leaving some lines, but that's okay because I'm going to go over it with color pencil. Now you probably can't see the lines from there. But I'm going to finish this one eye socket. So I'm going to finish this eye socket before I go get me some coffee. Sandy's a good girl. I always said it was Eileen and Jess. And by the way, Sandy, it's good to see you again. I know you got moved and everything. I hope your new house, your new home is working out well. Because I really haven't seen you since before you moved. Sandy's one of our UK gals. Did Miss Vicky B run off and buy her a set of these? I want to see her demo them. And if y'all want to see Jess, she's the one that I know that does the most Copic work in anyone in our group anyway. It's Jess, Jess, and the space, Jess, and the letter C on YouTube. And she said she's been uploading her streams to YouTube. So if y'all want to see her, and I don't know what she's done the last couple of shows, so I don't know if it was Copics or not. But, okay. Did you use a lot of black marker? Do I use a lot of black marker? If I'm using, or like for instance in my Inktober's, all I used was a little bit of the Faber-Castell thin, you know, the actual like this kind, like, you know, multi-liner type thing. But I inked all my Inktober's just with just Sumi ink and a brush. So I didn't use any markers. Let's see. My Inktober's, I did them all with Sumi ink and a brush. And what I'm doing now with them is I am printing them out on the craft paper. Where's some that here? Like this one. And all I did was scan them in, or copy. I just copied these onto craft paper, and now I'm coloring them with color pencil on the craft paper. Oh, look, the light came back. Oh. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing with my Inktober, 31 Inktober drawings, is putting them on craft paper and coloring them. That's holding the light well right there. So did I use a lot of marker? Do I use a lot of marker? No. And usually if I'm doing something in color books, it's these tiny little areas here, and I just use like these kind of multi-liner type pens. So, hey, Anita's getting her studio put together, getting ready to stream. Okay, so I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can. See how I didn't really worry about getting that fully colored in solid like you could with a Copic? Because I'm going to let it dry, and I'll make sure and hit it with the heat gun first. But then you'll see the difference after I go over it with a color pencil. My new black Caran d'Ache pencil. Okay, let me go get some coffee. And just FYI, Eileen, it shipped, the pencil shipped, you can see the size of the box there. It shipped in, make sure no address is shown, but it shipped in quite a big box with like 8 of these in it. So it was well packaged. I guess they know you don't want those babies getting broken. You haven't taken a machine. The box was big, like this big, about that deep, Eileen. It was quite the box. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead, and I think that's pretty dry, but just to make sure, I'm going to hit it with the heat gun real quick. Because, and I'm sure it went right through. Sharpie, Copics, anything alcohol based is going to go right. This is just this book. Great, I just blew all my little shavings. All my pencil shavings all over the desk. Hang on. We'll go, this is just copy paper thin. It's this color book. There's tons and tons of images in it. but it's thin paper. And I'm trying to leave this here because it seems to be focusing the light. Different things work for focusing the light. Okay. All right, so now what I want to do is get my black pencil, take it out of its room. Oh, Miss Anita K. These are Caran d'Ache Luminance, a set of 20, gifted to me from Eileen the Enabler Elf. We've already sniffed them, hugged them, petted them, touched them, stroked them, loved them, tested them, kissed them, licked them. And now we're actually getting to color with them. Yes, Copics bleed through the thin paper too. Well, that's why you buy that $80 paper, Jess. So now I'm going to test out the black. And what I want to do is just go over the whole area, and I'll do half so you can see the difference. So I'm going to go over the marker to make it look like velvet. Oh, it feels so nice. It does feel like so smooth. Because they're not waxy like the Prismacolor I use all the time, it has a different feel. They feel different. I can't describe it. They're their own little world. But they seem to work quicker. Eileen, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to go online and get a $600 box of pencils. Ay, ay, ay. All right, so I want to show y'all the difference. And because they're not waxy, there's no wax bloom. Now, I haven't tried a bunch of, blending with portrait skin tones or anything yet. And I won't be able to do that very well with this set. That's what Eileen, she knew I'd have to go buy me a portrait set. All right, so there's the difference. Whoops, there's the lid. I have my lids. Okay. So there's the difference, which I'm sure there. Look. Sharpie on the right, velvet on the left. See that? Yeah, Kathy's going to be proud. Yeah, because Kathy Cass, swears by these pencils. But they're not cheap, guys. They're not cheap. Just saying. All right, so there we go. Look, there's the difference between the Sharpie and a coat of the Caran d'Ache over it. Right there. Awesome. I know. Well, Kathy's been trying to get me to buy them, and I've never said I shouldn't. It's the price. It's the price. Oh my gosh. All right, let me finish coloring in this. And if you're just joining us, we're coloring this for Miss Martha. Today's her birthday. She already sent her a card out. And thank goodness Dana always reminds us on Twitter of whose birthday it is. Because once I send the birthday cards out, I forget. Because I feel like, oh, I've said happy birthday. I sent out the card. And today's Miss Martha. So we're coloring this for Miss Martha, who, like I said earlier, we haven't seen hide nor hair of since she had the grandbaby. Oh, hey, Mac. I have a solution. Just buy Dee's prisms and she'll be replacing them. Yeah, I will. I'll have to replace them slowly because but if I really like them, and I'll keep working with them and see, because I'm liking this. And I think Eileen knew it. Eileen knew it. Kathy knew it. They're like junkie dealers. Okay, so there's that eye color. See how velvety it looks? All right, it's going to take a while to color this, so everybody just sit back, get your color books out. Joycey's not streaming today. She says she's not feeling well. I think she lost her voice. I don't know if she has laryngitis or what. Now, you do want to make sure that you're not coloring on an edge of something, because you'll dent it. You'll put a mark. So if you're coloring on something, make sure it's not like going off the edge. All right, so again, I'm going to take my Faber-Castell. And I'm just going to go around these flowers. And again, if you weren't here a second ago, the reason I'm not going around, even though this is a nice sharp new Sharpie and I can go around the edges with it, it bleeds. It'll bleed into the image. Whereas a pen, like this is the Pitt pen, probably a Micron or a Copic liner, any of those will work just as well. Where you can go around the image without it being sucked into the over the image. So I'm just kind of outlining it just so that I have like a buffer from the Sharpie. It'll prevent the Sharpie and I won't need to get as close to the image when I have it outlined with this. And there's some tiny images and y'all just have to keep holding it up. But if I try to zoom in, guys, I'm losing the clarity and I don't want to do that. I don't want y'all to have to watch a fuzzy coloring page. But I'm going to try to rearrange my room again. I arranged it this way for the purpose of last night when Darcy was here so that we have long tables and you could see both of us at the same time. But I knew I wasn't going to leave this set up like this permanently. But I do want to, because the light situation, but I knew it would work for last night. So I'm just going around the edge. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Darcy had so much fun. She called me when she got home. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun. I love coloring. It was so great. And she just went on and on. So I'm so happy that she had a good time. All right, so see, I just kind of outlined the edge. So that and I did color in that one little square right there. But, so that way the Sharpie won't bleed. Hey, Jean. Jean. Eileen's bad. Look what she sent me. Look, Jean. Now you know I have to go buy more, right? Okay, so now I'm just going to color in. And again, I don't have to worry so much about the pen marks because I go over it with the pencil. But this helps you don't use up your pencils as quick either. When you have a base coat of a black acrylic paint or a base coat of a black Sharpie, your color pencil can go over the top of it and you're not having to use half a pencil to color in a solid black area. Know what I mean, Vern? Oh, thanks, Carrie. Yeah, I know y'all were hanging out last night and just working along, and Darcy enjoyed it. It was nice that she could get away and have a play day or a play evening over here. So we're coloring this for Miss Martha's birthday. I think what I'll do, I will send her the original, and we've already all said happy birthday to her, but I think what I'll do is I'll post this on Facebook after I get done coloring it. Hopefully we'll get done with it. And then maybe put a happy birthday Martha over it, because she'll probably like that. I guess she'd like it. Okay, so again, see how it's not, see that you can see the marks right there? And see what it looks like when it's colored over with the pencil. All right, so let me go ahead and dry it again. I'm going to dry that marker. And get my new pencil out. Let's take a moment to pet. Just a minute. We'll color in just a second. Oh, this is fun. Thank you again, Eileen, for all this fun. Oh, and I gotta say something else that was fun last night. Blonde Woman Stamping sent us that box of goodies. And I have sent out quite a few of those napkins. I forgot to show Darcy the napkins. We're so busy looking at, how she made that washi tape? Oh my gosh, Darcy had a fit over that because she wants to use it in her planner. So some of that handmade washi tape that Blondie sent, oh my gosh, Darcy snatched some of that stuff up. Well, I mean, I gave it to her, shared it with her. And she said she can't wait to use it in her planner. She thought it was awesome. So if you watch this, Blondie, Darcy is a big fan of your handmade washi. Just saying. She loved that stuff. You are going to go get groceries. Nothing's open for y'all. Yeah, does things close? I know it's what is it called in Canada? Not Memorial. What is it called for our Veterans Day? It's not Memorial. What is that called in Canada? Remembrance Day. Is it Remembrance Day, Jean? Everything closes on Remembrance Day for y'all? Yeah, we don't have mail, but everything's still open. Yeah, that's the only thing I know. Banks, Eileen. Banks and the post office is closed on Veterans Day, but the stores aren't closed. Remembrance Day, yeah. Yeah, I remember Jean, and next time if y'all watch Music Scrap Jean when she's working in her art journals, and she's working in them again for the Nano Jomo, ask her to show you her last year's Remembrance Day. It's one of my favorite pages of yours, Jean, with the silhouette of the soldier and the flag. I love that page. That's one of my favorite pages you've ever done. Don't know if you knew that, but it is. Okay, so there we go. So we got both eyes. See how velvety? Isn't that awesome? Oh, it depends on the province, Jean? Okay. Yeah, banks and mail are closed in the States on Veterans Day. Government offices, Anita, correct. I don't know about that, Paula. Paula wants to know if UPS is delivering today. Paula's expecting some packages, I think. Paula's probably, I know what it is. Paula, she probably, no, I don't want to say that because it's just a joke I saw on Facebook. Mel posted it. It showed, and I know it wasn't Mel's porch, but it showed somebody's front porch piled high with Amazon Prime boxes, and the caption said, "Don't drink and Prime." I know today's Wednesday. Paula streams tonight. She's got some color books coming in. I know it. Some kind of books. Paula's got some books coming in, or maybe her stencil line. Because Paula, if y'all don't know, Stencil Girl has put out some Journal Artista, Paula Phillips, some new stencils. Put links in there, Paula, too. So Paula's got a new line of stencils out, and I bet she's waiting for her shipment of stencils. Oh, correct. Right, Paula? Did I bust you out? Okay. Now we're going to do the nose and the sides of the mouth here. And then there's all these little areas that need to be black as well. Now, you're probably going to be watching me just do a lot of this for a while. Probably at least the next 30, 40 minutes. So if you're not wanting just to see me color a bunch of black area for a while, then you probably... and I say I want to get this done today on Martha's birthday. I might have spoken too soon. I don't know that I can get this done today. But whenever I get it done, I'm going to send it to Martha. And again, if y'all missed Martha's, she does Frida art. And this is one of the spoons that I have from her. It's all beaded. It's wire wrapped. It's got a bead hanger. A little skelly right there. And then this is her own paint. That's Miss Martha's painting right there, Frida. She's got that's a rose, like a not enamel, but what's those called? Resin rose. And then all this hangs down from the spoon. The little bird there. So that's our Miss Martha's art. So you can see how big that is. So anyway, It's Miss Martha's birthday. So she loves the Day of the Dead skulls and all that. Oh, hey, clean green glands. Yes, it's out of this color book. Let me show you. We're working out of this color book. The Ultimate Tattoo Coloring Book. And I know that my light's glaring on it, but and it's a big, thick book. Me and Darcy Glam each got one yesterday at Books A Million. I think it's $16.95, $16.97. Plus, I get 10% off. But yeah, it's an awesome book. And what's cool about it is that you can cut things out. I mean, that's what I liked, and Darcy did too, is little images that you can cut out, color, cut out, put in your art journal, your glue book, or whatever. But that's the one we're working out of. And we're working with these pencils. Just saying. Thank you, Eileen. Eileen, they just got delivered while I was working on this. FedEx, ding dong. Cracks open, the color soft, the color. Okay, Mac, bust them out. I hear ya. I know. Eileen enabled me. I'm telling you. Well, Kathy Cass has been trying to enable me. She's been talking about it, talking big about these, and I know that they are good pencils. But they're not cheap. Not cheap. Eileen just put me in debt. She's a bad one, that ETEE. She is. So Paula, is Paula still here? Paula, so what can you give us a hint at what you're expecting from Amazon today? I read a biography. Oh, well, I've read a few biographies on Georgia O'Keeffe, but it's probably been 20, 25 years. So I've probably forgotten most of it. But yeah, Anita. And the photographer that she was her, I don't know, did they ever get married? I don't remember. Okay, so there we go. Let me color in with the Sharpie again. And again, I'm outlining that because it puts a buffer to the edge of the image so that the Sharpie doesn't run into over the image. It just, Doodlers Anonymous had a few. Oh, you got the Doodlers Anonymous? Oh, you're going to love it. Make sure you hashtag them. They have a big community, Paula. So make sure you hashtag the Doodlers Anonymous in Instagram and Twitter and everywhere. I need to start another one in that book too. And Darcy did do a little test on my Animalia color book where I've did a wash of acrylic paint over the whole animal, and then you go back in with a color pencil and shade it out. She could tell. She goes, "Oh, it does. It gives it a tooth. It gives it a tooth with the acrylic wash on it." And said she really could tell a difference using her color pencils on top of acrylic paint. Okay, let me dry that. Hey, Trina. Doesn't take too much with the Sharpie. The water-based markers make the paper a little wetter, but you want it dry. You want it dry before you go in there with color pencil over on the top. So the pencil will just make it, again, let me show you the difference. See in the nose, see the marker lines? See no marker lines? See the lovely pencil? Ken Carlson is working in Chicago. So you like Georgia O'Keeffe, Mac? Yeah, I've watched documentaries on her, and where she lived out in New Mexico and all. I'm sure it's still a museum area. Her house and her property, and she probably has a artist caretaker living on the land and all that. I don't know. Like I said, it's probably been 20 years since I really read or we did go to I shouldn't say that. It hasn't been 20 years since I've seen it because we went to the High Museum of Art here in Atlanta. They had a Georgia O'Keeffe exhibit. And it's probably been at least 5 years, maybe. And I can't really remember how long ago because we go to the museum all the time. So I don't remember when it was. So I did see the actual paintings. But reading about her and seeing documentaries and stuff, it's probably been a long time since that. And we did see the Frida exhibit. We saw the Frida exhibit, and my goodness, that woman was tiny. They had one of her rib casts there. That she had the cast that she wore because if y'all don't know, she's had many different health issues. But her the cast was literally about this big. She must not have been bigger than Boo is now. She was tiny. I don't know how tall she was, but structurally, I mean, she had to be a very tiny, tiny woman. You see her clothes and her cast, the plaster cast that she wore. Oh my goodness, she was little, little. So there's the nose, and see, you can see how this is going to look so pretty. And but there's black, it's got to be colored in all these little areas behind the flowers are black. I'll probably do the bulk of that with just let me see, let me do a couple little areas here, just with the little Faber-Castell pen. I'll just go in there because it's nice and sharp and dark, and I can just get in there in those tiny little areas. Let me just do a little bit right here just so you can kind of see how dramatic it's going to look when we get it all colored in. Which probably is not going to be all today. I think I spoke too soon when I said I was going to finish this in a day. And I still haven't seen what else what was it? She got the Doodlers Anonymous, and did she just say some other things? Well, I won't give away her surprise. She's probably going to show it on our stream tonight if it comes in. But I want y'all to see how dramatic it's going to look with the black background. Is Vicky BR still here? Vicky BR likes these kind of skulls too. I know y'all can't see very well because I can't zoom today. All right, so let's kind of see where it's going. Look at that. Looks like a good book, Paula. She has. Okay, so what did Paul? Oh, the Doodlers Anonymous book, Eileen. You haven't bought that one yet. Don't forget to use Paula's A store code. Well, you won't forget. Does everybody want to get out their color books when I'm doing this? It would make me want to get out a color book. If I was watching somebody do this, oh my gosh, I would have a color book out in a flash. In a flash. Martha's going to love this. I just know she will. And I'll have it be from all of us. Like I said, I already sent her out a birthday card. Go around the little teeth. You bought a second book, the same book, Paul? Oh, I missed something. Did you accidentally buy a same book? The color theory one. You're coloring with your polychromes. Yay, Paula. Now, Paula, you know you're going to... Oh, no, I think you already have... You have some Verathins, don't you, Paula? We were talking last night when Darcy was here. She played a little bit with my Verathins in these tiny little areas. We have these tiny little areas that almost would take a pen or a gel pen or a pen to get in there. They're so tiny you really can't even get in there with a pencil. The Verathins, which are the hard lead, and I say lead, I know it's not lead, and you can get in those tiny places with a Verathin that you can't get in with the softer pencils because they're so tiny, But, so I don't know if you have some, I think I saw you on one of your shows a couple weeks ago that you have some Verathins. I saw well, Paula did I can't show you on my phone. It'll flash out my camera. I was going to show the picture Paula tweeted out yesterday. It looks awesome. She's showing it in some stages. Okay, so now I need to go around because there's a kind of a big area right here where I'm going to use the Sharpie. So let me just kind of outline the flowers. And if y'all see someone else want to stream, Packer Di tried to stream this morning, but she couldn't get her camera to Ustream to recognize her camera, and she only had an hour of time, and she tried a few things and it didn't work. But if you see somebody else, I know Joycey's, I think, lost her voice, so I think she's, I don't know if she has laryngitis or what, but so she's not streaming today. So if anybody else is wanting to do an impromptu, just say so. You really like the black to outline the lines of the coloring book at the end. Oh yeah, you like to make all the black printed parts stand out, Paula, with the black. Yeah, this one's, see how thin the line, there's not a lot of thick lines. It's just going to be the coloring inside the lines. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. You like to make it pop. You want the black to pop. Okay, let me go ahead and outline this one too, and I can color them both at the same time. Actually, I probably won't do it, but you can see where you could do it. The image, the black part goes like right off into the background. So you could really color the whole background black as well, behind the flowers. But I probably won't do that at least until everything's colored. And then I'll see if I need to do that or if it would look better with all the background colored black as well. Orla likes her Verathins. Oh, you like the black Verathin to outline, Paul? Is that what you were saying? You like to outline with the black Verathin? Bye, Mac. Thanks for stopping in. And if you're watching this recording, it's a live show with live people. So I'm figured you knew that by now, that I'm talking with people. But if you're watching the recording and you want to come over on Ustream, there's always a link in my description box directly to my channel. And if you follow me, and I can't promise, but if you follow me, you should get a notification when I go live. Even though this is, I do impromptus. I think it depends on the browser, maybe even the country, if you get notifications of when streamers go live. I notice that some people that are on like Chrome versus whatever, Firefox or whatever, different people get different notifications. But if you follow, then you should get a notification when I go live, or any of the streamers. If you want to follow Journal Artista, Music Scrap, any of us that stream. Packer Di, I forget the name of her channel, but I think you can find her if you just put in Packer Di on Ustream. Jess, and again, she has another name for but I think you could probably find her under Jess C as well. But anyway, I do stream every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern for sure, and then different times during the week, just depending. You know, we all do that. We do impromptus. Although Paula does Wednesday nights, Journal Artista Paula does Wednesday nights and Saturday nights, like about 8:30. She does a pre-chat and then goes live. Well, she's live there, but I mean, she starts recording around 9 or so. And that's Wednesdays and Saturdays. Xandra does a Wednesday about 7:30. I'm just talking the ones that are coming to my mind. Xandra does a show on like Wednesdays at 7:30, and then a Sunday afternoon. And Packer Dye does occasionally. She's been trying to do a morning or two a week, but that just depends on her schedules. All right, so now I outlined around the mouth here and right in there, so I've got to color those two larger areas in with a Sharpie. Yeah, okay, so you like to outline with a Verithin because it goes over the lines, yeah. I go back and forth, Orla. I don't really, you know, sometimes it just depends on what I'm doing. If I'm going over, one of the girls, Orla, asked if she goes light over the shade and then the dark back and forth, or how she shades back and forth. I just go back and forth. I might do a little area where it's real dark, a medium, then go over the light with the lightest color, or white for the brightest highlights, and then I might notice, well, the dark now is not dark enough. So I'll go back in with more shading and then blend with a mid-tone or two. And then, you know, maybe if the highlight's not as bright like we did last night on the boots of the pirate girl, then we just did a little mark with a paint pen, a white paint pen. And then, and again, it's different when I base coat something with acrylic paint. That's a different field as well. So I don't know. It's kind of like, it's not one system, one technique every time. It depends on the paper. It depends on if there's marker under it, or if, like, you know, you wouldn't have to necessarily do all the black first before you did the flowers. I just like it because then I can see the flowers real easy, and it just gives it a dramatic, I can see how it's going to look all colored in with the black background. So yeah, I think it just goes back and forth as far as the shading, highlight, shading, you know, blending, shading some more, blending some more. I got a starter set of calligraphy. Oh, you're doing calligraphy. Okay. Yeah, I used to do calligraphy professionally, but I haven't done that since. I mean, I still do an occasional certificate, extra large certificate for a dojo, but I don't really do calligraphy professionally anymore since probably the 80s. Okay, heat gun. Now I'm going to go over those larger areas. I'm not worried about going over the marker with pencil in these tiny little areas because you don't see marker lines in those tiny little areas. But you do see marker lines in these bigger areas. And look, I still haven't even had to sharpen this yet. So I hope y'all are doing something along with, like Orla is. Your brother said you're working at being a professional inker. Now, do you like to ink drawings too, Orla? Because, you know, like my Inktober, I did all that with a brush. Well, except for some of the tiny details that I did with the Faber-Castell Pitt pen, you know, the pen. Other than a few details like that, I did those with a brush and Sumi ink. So what kind of ink are you using, and are you using a brush over your ink, your pencil drawings, or are you doing calligraphy like calligraphy lettering, or both? I know, right? The black does make it look awesome already. And that makes it kind of really dramatic, and you're like real excited to do all the flowers. When you see all the black ink areas, just makes it look real dramatic, doesn't it, Anita? All right, so there we go. So you can kind of see. Look awesome. Look at those flowers, though. But I do have a lot of little areas to, fill in. So that's why I'm trying to just think of some things to talk about, because it's really not a lot to see at this point. But I'm going to go ahead and get all the black that needs to be around this little pink chrysanthemum, and then we'll do that. Now, I can't do the whole thing with my new Caran d'Ache because I don't have enough. Well, I got red and pink and white. I could probably do it. We're going to try. We're going to try to do that with with my new pencils. I was going to say I probably couldn't do the whole thing with my 20 colors, but I could do a lot. Hey, Chaps, how you doing? Yeah, Paul, that's a good suggestion too. If you take a photograph of your work, and that's whether you're coloring or any kind of artwork, you can really see, like Paula was talking about, areas you missed. But it's also great to see when you do, like for instance, if I do my art cards and I take a picture of my art cards, I can see, oh my gosh, it really needs something on this side. It's unbalanced. You can really tell just by taking, you wouldn't think you could. And seeing it on camera here, now I can't tell little areas I missed because I'm too zoomed out. But looking at it on camera, on your screen, or on a picture, you really can tell the difference if something's wrong. And it's weird because you think you're looking at the same thing as you're looking at on a photograph. But it does make a difference, doesn't it, Paula? Inktense block. Oh, so you're using Inktense blocks for some of the smaller color pictures, and you use a lot of your pencils and then ink over the outlines. Awesome. Yeah, I haven't used enough of my Inktense pencils. I don't have the blocks to paint, but if I want to use any kind of, the brush, taking the pigment off, I use my Neocolor 2 water-soluble crayons. And then I have the Inktense pencils, but I haven't used them that much in color booking. My Inktense pencils. But I don't have the blocks. So what other color books is anybody else got some new color books besides me and Paula? Yeah, and Jean, because of her vision, says that the perception is different when your eyes see it. I mean, even probably more dramatically for you, Jean. Probably even more dramatically for you. But it does. It's just weird how you wouldn't think that it would. Okay, so again, technically this skull would probably be colored all the way out off the edge, but I think I'll wait till the very end, and when I finish it all, if I think it needs to be, then what I'll do is I'll go around all the outside edge with the pen to buffer it, and then I'll probably use acrylic paint, black acrylic paint, to paint all around the skull at the end if I think I want it all black around the outside edge. Harry, oh, the Harry Potter. You got, see, that, I guess you heard the story last night, some of y'all. We went to the bookstore last night when we got the tattoo book, and Darcy also got the Secret Paris, and then at Hobby Lobby, she got the Deco Art Girls. And so Paula got the Harry Potter one. I did remember seeing a picture of it now, Paula. And so anyway, the Harry Potter one is supposed to be in today. They were unboxing the shipment yesterday. We got there probably about late afternoon, 3, some 4, no, about 3, I guess. And they had been unboxing a new shipment since 8 that morning. So they got a huge shipment in at my Books A Million yesterday. And so Darcy was going, well, we can go back there and help unbox. I'm sure the boxes are labeled like color books or something like that. And the guy he was a young guy who was giggling, laughing along with us. And I almost accused Darcy with flirting with him, but anyway. So, but anyway, so she, we'll go back there and help you unbox everything and all this. But yeah, so the new Harry Potter book should be in today at my Books A Million. I may go get it today, this afternoon, because I do want to get that one. I've looked at the Outlander and I looked at the Game of Thrones ones, and they're awesome, but I don't know that I'll like. I don't know. Maybe the Outlander one. I don't know. The dragons in the Game of Thrones ones looks cool. But I kind of want to get the Harry Potter one, if nothing else, because Cam would like the Harry Potter one. Because he's like a big fan. He's read all the books like probably 3 times. So yeah, I haven't seen the inside except for like a couple of pages that you, Paula, and a couple other color book artists have posted online, the inside of it. So I probably just need to go up and buy it. Yeah, the Lost Ocean, the Time Chamber. I had a couple of people request that I buy and it's called 2 things. It's called Time Chamber, and it's another one. It's got that little girl, so like a little fairy girl that travels through time. Lots of watches and clocks and things. And every time I go to the bookstore, there's something else I'd rather get. And I've been telling myself I'm only going to buy 1 color book a week, and now I bought that tattoo one yesterday, and I want to go get the Harry Potter one today. Yeah, that's what it is, Jean. It becomes a 2-dimensional flat view when you see it on a photograph or on the screen. Yeah. You passed on the Outlander and Game of Thrones too, Paula? Yeah. I did see you bought the art book. I saw on your stream, Paula. You bought the artist Harry Potter art book, and I did see that at my Books A Million. I think it's like $49 at Books A Million. I'm thinking about getting that for Cameron Christmas. That the Harry Potter artist book. It's like the illustrated version, like a big coffee table size book. And I think it was like $49. So that would be a good Christmas present for Cam. Yeah, so Paula was telling Orla that Paula's mom got the time. Is it time? It's called 2 different things. I've seen the same version. It's called Time Chamber and something else, and it's like 2 different, little bit different covers, but it's the same book. So I'm just wondering if 2 publishers have put it out, or I don't know. I didn't look real close at it, but I've had a couple people ask me to buy that so they can see me color a page in it. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to have to wait in line. And then, again, yesterday, let me tell you the other color books that are tempting me. The Star Trek one. Now, it's the old Star Trek characters. It's not the new Star Trek. So, the Star Trek color book that Darcy was holding up in that picture that I tweeted yesterday, it's a hardback, and it's kind of like this kind of book. It's like these. It's like these art therapy. It's these hardcover ones. Although this one was $19.99, I think the Star Trek one was like $18 or something. But it's like this hardback one, And it was a Star Trek one, and Darcy was holding it in that picture. But there's the World of Disney, there's Frozen, there's a whole bunch of cool color books out. Oh my gosh. And I got these new pencils, and I gotta go buy more. And Jess is tempting me with Copics. Oh my gosh. Cam, my grandson, who loves Copics, and he really started drawing. Well, he's always drawn too, just kind of like I've always drawn. But he started by teaching himself manga, so he loves Copics since day one. Things aren't cheap. But he loves his Copics. He loves his Copics. Oh, I haven't seen the Sherlock Holmes one. Sarah! Sarah, did you just pop in here to tell me that? Really? Sarah? Sarah O? Now, I haven't seen that one. I've not even seen it online. So there's a Sherlock Holmes one. Hey, Whippy Carol and Sarah O. They must be both coming here to tempt me. I know, Trina. Just in time for Christmas, right? Did y'all say, by the way, if y'all just are coming in, the doorbell literally rang when I first started this stream, and this arrived Amazon Prime from Eileen the Enabler Elf. She sent these to me. She gifted these to me. And she sent me a note. But not only did she send me a note, you need to try them. LOL. She's laughing at me. She knows. The Enabler Elf. She knows. Look. Eileen the Enabler Elf. Ding dong! Okay, Sarah. Good to see you. I'm glad you were able to come in. So I'm coloring all the background. We're coloring this skull, flower skull for Miss Martha for her birthday today. I don't think I'm going to finish it today, but it will go to Miss Martha whenever it's done. Oh, okay. Thanks, Sarah. Okay. Well, if I have to order it online, it's less of a temptation and it's right in my bookstore or bookstores. If I see it at my, especially Books A Million, which is like less than 5 miles from my house. Hey, I have a Hobby Lobby 3 miles from my house. It's tough. It's tough down here in the South. It's tough down in my hood. Yes, this is a pit pen. Yes, they bleed through. So does the Sharpie. I use the Sharpie to color in the big areas. Then I went over it with the Caran d'Ache black, and it makes it look like velvet. And then with the tiny areas, I'm using the medium point pit pen to get in those little areas. But yes, it all goes through. But I tore this out, and I'm sending it to Martha. I tore it out of the book. So if you wanted to leave it in your book, make sure you put a piece of cardstock behind it. And this book, if y'all are just coming in, this is the book I'm coloring out of. The Ultimate Tattoo Coloring Book. And it's one-sided. The images are just one-sided. So, you can tear them out, cut them out. But if you do use markers of any kind, this paper is really thin in that book. It's thin. Like copy paper thin. You found it at Barnes & Noble, Sarah? Oh my gosh, you enablers! Sherlock Holmes is one of my favorites. Let's see, who did I first started? My first, real books, well, when I was in elementary school, I loved biographies about anybody. because I'd check them out of the school library, when I was in elementary school. I loved biographies. Well, after I exhausted all the biographies, and I don't remember we went to like the city library after that or how, because we didn't have bookstores back then. I mean, it sounds like I'm 100 years old. We didn't have bookstores back in the day. Um, but if you live in the suburbs, you didn't have a bookstore in every corner like you can now. Books a Million, Barnes and Noble, Chapters, or whatever ones are still around, because everybody buys a lot. Not everybody, but a lot of people buy offline now. So, but when I started being able to pick, other books at either the library or whatever, when I was probably 12, 11, 12, 13, in that era, I started reading Sherlock Holmes, Ian Fleming's James Bond, and science fiction by like Asimov, Heinlein, the like real science fiction back then. So I read all those. So yeah, so those were my first like heroes, James Bond, Sherlock Holmes, space travelers, Star Trek. That was your bookstore, Whippy? Yeah. I don't remember growing up. I do not remember any bookstores. Probably until I was in my, gosh, late 20s, maybe? I mean, now, I know there's like big, bookstores in like New York and, in the cities. We just didn't go to the city. We didn't go city. We stayed out in the country. Now, I'll tell this story again, since I'm coloring and, that's not a lot of interest right here, I'll tell this story. We didn't live quite this far out in the country, and I've told this story before. I had a friend of mine that I used to work with. This was when I was in my 30s, and she said, and she was probably in her 50s at the time of this story. She said that her husband liked to kid about how far out she lived in the country when they were dating. And he said, she lives so far out in the country, I have to get in my car, drive for a couple hours just to get to the road, that I'd have to get on a horse, ride a horse for a couple more hours. And he was just going on and on about how far she lived in the country. Then after the horse, I'd have to get off and walk a path. He made it more funny than I'm telling it, but anyway. And so then I'd have to get on and walk down this path for miles and miles. And finally, I'd get to her house and there'd be a note on the door. Not home, gone to the country. I'll never forget that story. So, that being said, I've never lived that far out of the country. But we didn't have bookstores in the suburbs. You had to be a city girl to go to the bookstore. Other than the library, of course, Uh-oh. What did you buy? I'm afraid to go. I can't go look at that. You got a Warrior edition, a Venom Warrior edition of something on Etsy, Jess, but I can't go to the link, and you're talking to somebody else. What did you buy? Oh, I'm really making some progress here. I really am, guys. I'm going faster on this black background than I really thought I would. So we're getting there. I'm getting there. And so the other streamer that I was going to mention is Barb. Barb streams on Fridays. Barb Owen. She streams on Fridays at 2 Eastern. Creating Faces is the name of her channel, but she does she does much more than just faces. And so she's another one to follow if you're listening. The BBC Sherlock. There's only one Sherlock Holmes, and that's Basil Rathbone. I like them all. I like them all, though. Really, I do. I like all the Sherlock Holmes. I do have I did buy a Sherlock Holmes book to cut up. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I do. I buy clearance books. I buy clearance books like for $2 and $3 to use in collage, mixed media, in my art journal, like we all do here. Oh, it's a lightsaber. Cool. Are you looking forward to the new movie at the new Star Wars, Jess, when it comes out in December? But anyway, when we were looking at the magazine and what you call it, Darcy did mention this last night. There was a Time book, a Time magazine. The brand, the publisher Time put out a James Bond like history of James Bond in the It's a new magazine. Just out. She's Dee Dee, do you want me to buy this for you? No, but look, and she'd show me these awesome pictures of Sean Connery. Don't you want this? No, Darcy, don't buy it. Don't buy it for me. She wanted to buy it for me. Yeah, for some reason, Barb streams. Now, I just got a new modem this morning, so we'll check it out Friday when Barb streams. For some reason, Fridays at Barb's, who else do I really have a hard time staying connected? And I know it had to be something. I mean, I don't know for sure. Who knows? With Ustream, we never really know what the deal is. It could be us. It could be Ustream. It could be the time of day. It could be a sunspot. Who knows? But for some reason, that time of day at Barb's, it's really been hard for me to stay connected. And of course, night shows. I have to watch all the night shows like Paula's the next morning. I watch her shows at 5:30 in the morning from the night before. And Dar started streaming again. I don't know if she's going to do it every Saturday after evening, early evening, or what. I'm getting there. Look, guys, look how much progress I've made. There's not that much more to go with the black. I know, Orla, right? Okay, Jean. Barb's the only one you get notifications for. So, and I think sometimes it has to do with what browser you're on, don't you think, Jean? We need to do a comparison, like who gets notifications that are on Firefox, who gets notifications when they're on Chrome, you know? Of course, now again, if you're on a tablet, an iPad, or anything like that, that probably affects it too, whether you get notifications. If you're on a device. Thanks, Jean. Yeah, we're going to get to those pencils here in a minute. I'm kind of dragging it out, aren't I? But I'm enjoying just relaxing and chatting with you guys, even though, you can't actually get in here and see the details. But I'm going to rearrange my room again and work on the lighting. So for those of y'all that might be interested in the technical part of this, most of us that stream are as far as I know, everyone I know that streams has a Logitech camera, and there's a couple versions. The two newest ones that I know of, unless they've come out with a new one in the last, say, 6 months or so. Gene, I forget which one. I have to write mine down because I always get yours and mine confused. Mine is the Logitech C930E HD. Now, let me clarify that. We don't have HD quality on Ustream unless you pay to have high quality. So we don't have that clarity that you have if you're just recording something on, without being broadcasting. But anyway, come to find out, there's a lot of good features with the E, the one I just mentioned with the E. And I've looked it up, but one of the drawbacks of it, and it's the best. I don't say it's the best. It was the most expensive one of the Logitech webcams at that time when I bought this one, probably about a year ago. They may have come out with new ones. I don't know. But anyway, one of the drawbacks with this one that I have is, and Anita K, if you're still here, I think I might have already told you this when you were visiting the last week or week before. Anyway, is that it has great zoom. It zooms farther. It zooms 5 in, clicks in. It'll zoom the farthest. It has great widescreen. It's the best for if you use a widescreen, which is what I use on Ustream. I use the widescreen, not the squished screen. I don't know what you call it, the non-widescreen. But I use the widescreen, so it's best for that. It's got awesome, settings for their color, your brightness, and everything. But the only drawback, and I've gone online, and this was the problem with everybody else's complaint with it, it has great autofocus. It does not have lock-in lighting. So the lighting will change. Like I can come in and come out. The lighting will change. I cannot lock in the lighting. And that's the problem with this particular camera. There's other features that make it good compared to like the one Jean has, but hers has locked-in lighting. But this particular one, again, I forget the number all the time. I write it down. The C930E HD. That's Logitech. It does not have lock-in lighting. So I can lock in the focus, take the autofocus off and lock in the focus, but that doesn't do me any good when the lighting is fluctuating constantly. The locked-in focus isn't beneficial if the lighting is zooming in and out or the lighting is changing. So I don't know if Jean walked away or she's still here. Jean. Yeah, so, Jean's, I don't know, does yours not have locked-in lighting either? Yeah, so Jean has the C920. That's what she has. But the benefit of the one I have, it has more zoom, and it has a better wide lens. So it's like a trade-off. Do you want a better wide lens, or do you want locked-in lighting? So maybe Logitech's listening to all the people talking about the non-lock-in lighting aspect, and maybe they'll come out with one that has all of these, all these features. My hair's in the way. So anyway, that's my problem with the lighting situation here. So anytime the lighting changes in my room, the sun comes out, the sun goes out. I've got 5 different lights around my room, overhead, lamps, lights, clip-ons, clamp-ons. Anyway, all these different lightings. But if the lighting kind of fluctuates just depending on if your hands are dark and you come in or you move out, you got white paper, you got brown paper, you got black paper, So you might want to make sure that when you buy a camera, think about that. Think about that. It does have locked-in light. Okay, so Jean said that the C9, was it 20? Hers has the locked-in lighting. But I love my widescreen. The screen covers more area. And I think I do. What was my other one? Let me see. Maybe I have it right here, Jean. My old one, before I upgraded. Maybe I should go back to this one. Let's see. Where is it? Here's my old one. What is this one? Let me see if it has it on here. I don't remember. See, I love my tape holding it. This is my old one. The new one is more square, This one's round. This is the old one. Is this the C920, Jean? What is this one? I don't even remember. I'm looking for something that says, but I'm not seeing it. The number? Oh, good grief. I need my magnifying glass. Hang on. Where is my magnifying glass? Well, I don't know where my magnifying glass is, so I can't read that to tell you what it is. It's so tiny. Maybe you can just tell me, Jean, if this is the C920. Is this it, Jean? No, it's not. This is not the 920. Okay. The 920 is a rectangular. Yeah, mine's a the one I'm using now is a C930E. It is a rectangle as well. This is my old one, so I don't even know what this is, Jean. Anyway. And then one of these days, one of these days, I'm gonna get more tech savvy with my cameras. I got my little HD Samsung camcorder here. We can make, but it's not a webcam; it's just to film with. I got that. I have a bloggy camera. This is I have used this before and uploaded to YouTube. This is nice. It's a little Sony. I don't know what you call it. Just a little, they call it a bloggy. Bloggie. It's a little Sony bloggy. So if I want to make YouTube videos without webcam, just straight up to YouTube, I got all kinds of cameras. I got my regular, I don't know if the EOS, does the EOS, can you record up to YouTube on an EOS? I don't even know. I don't know enough about the cameras because all I do is Ustream. I have used this. This case is not an official case. I have used this and uploaded to YouTube when Denise was doing some real estate houses that she needed to film, and we used this and uploaded to YouTube. So it's a good little camera. You like the 920? The only thing I like about mine, Jean, but it is frustrating. I love my wide, I get a bigger screen. My screen area here is bigger than the 920 gets. I mean, I've watched all the videos, on all the different benefits of each one. Let me put these cameras back up here. Hang on, guys. Sorry, I'm bumping. Oh, good grief. Let me do it later. Can't get it back in the shelf. I'm just knocking everything around. So, yeah. Now, Jean's on a Mac too. That may have something that that may have a I'm on a PC. Jean's on a Mac, so that probably does matter too, right, Jean? And if any of us have problems with any Apple products, we hit Jean up. Because I have an iPhone and an iPad, but I don't have a Mac computer. So Jean's the one that we hit up for any Mac info, or I should say Apple product info. Hey, Ella. Okay, so let me okay, here's one more flower area. Gotta get in this area here. So thanks everybody for just hanging out. Hope y'all are coloring or doing something. I'm going to be using my new pencils. I'm still petting them here. I need to try to sharpen one. That's what I need to do. But they're not ready to sharpen. They're not ready to sharpen yet. Okay, let's see. I'm just looking. No. I think this area here needs to be black. This outer edge area. Right along that edge. Hey, Terry. Yeah, and Jean is mentioning that's a good point, Jean. If you are using a Mac and a webcam, you do have to get some apps to do webcam settings. It's like my software just is, just go right to the site and download any webcam settings. But I think Jean is saying with a Mac, you have to have webcam settings. So you can, to change the focus and the brightness and all that, you have to download an app if you're on a Mac with a webcam. Does vegging count? Vegging counts, Trina. Hey, Trina, if napping counts, Jean, napping in my show counts, vegging counts. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it was fun having Darcy. It's been gosh, I guess it's probably been, well, I guess it was when her and Sister Woman were here. Well, how long ago was that? A year? I think that was the last time. And before that, it was probably a year before that when Denise was here. Maybe not quite a year, maybe 9 months. I only have one visitor a year. Paula visited me 1 year. JJ and Sister Woman visited me 1 year. Yep, you're a pro napper, Jean. So glad to have you though, Jean. We always need someone to snooze on the job. Okay, so I'm not going to do these edges until everything else. So let me just take a peek here and see if there's any other areas that I might have missed. Oh, yeah, there's one area right here. And again, if anybody wants to stream, Joycey apparently, I don't know if she has laryngitis or what, but somebody said she lost her voice. She's not streaming today, so Pack or Die tried, and she was having problems with her camera recognizing, or her Ustream recognizing her camera. Yes, I recorded. Yes, I recorded now, and I recorded last night. We've been here going on 2 hours. And I found for me, Ustream, people say they can go up to 3 hours. Sometimes it seems like my Ustream stops at 2 hours and 50 minutes before I have to start a new one. And, it's no big deal just to make a part two. But that's about what you got, around 3 hours. Ash has a cold. Well, good grief, girls. You streamers going to have to get healthy. I can't pick up the slack all the time. Yes, I did get a new modem this morning. The guy was really nice, too. Nice young man. Talked to him for a long time. He showed him some of my artwork. He talked to me about his martial arts. And it was nice. We got to chit-chat while he was putting in my new modem. Apparently, because I kept having buffering. Now, I don't know that it had anything, because I don't think it had anything to do with my Ustream, because the only person I really have the problem with staying connected on Ustream to without freezing is Barb's at 2 on Fridays. So I don't think it was my my modem that was affecting that. Of course, it could have been. That's why I'm anxious to see on Friday. See how, oh, dang, I won't be here on Friday. Ugh. Well, anyway, it'll have to be the next Friday, I guess. Anyway, but my signal, they changed the channel that they put my signal through and boosted the megahertz, and they said that should do it, but that they'd send out a new modem just to make sure. So anyway, he came out, put me in a new modem, and it's just hard to tell yet. Because I've been here. I've been right here since the new modem, literally. He left, he walked out the door, and I plugged in my camera. So I really haven't watched any streams yet or any videos to see if it buffers. So I can't really tell if it's done any good yet. Oh, she has a cold. Oh, Joycey has a cold, not Ash. Okay. Okay, Ash goes, I don't have a cold. Are you wanting to stream, Ash? No, I won't be home. I won't be here on Friday to stream or to watch Barb. It's going to be too sketchy on Friday for me to plan either one of those. I might catch a few minutes. I don't know. So, yeah, Ash goes, no worries. But if I get a cold, uh, and today's I mean, this week is just, I'm all discombobulated on this week. Hubster traveling, Darcy coming down, rearranging my art room. Now I want to rearrange it again. So anyway, tonight it's Wednesday, and there's a whole bunch of us on Twitter that tweet during Survivor. It's probably up to about 10. It's probably about 10 of us now. Now, not all of us are there every Wednesday night. I'm there every Wednesday night. Oh, Packer Di said she'll try to get on Friday morning. Okay, good. No, I really don't. It's rare that I stream on the weekends. It's rare I stream on weekends. I mean, I've done the occasional Saturday, or sometimes a Sunday afternoon. But other people stream on Saturday. You can. I found you, Dee Dee. That's if you're listening to this recording. There's someone's nickname is I found you, Dee Dee. I mean, I know her real name, but that's just what she goes by here, and it's just fun. I just think it's fun. But yeah, so Saturday, the first Saturday of every month, which was last Saturday, is when Sister Woman Darcy and Sister Woman, who are the Scrappy Camper sisters, who Darcy was here last night, she and Jonna stream the first Saturday of every month, usually all day long. Their stream usually goes all day on the first Saturday of the month. Scrappy Camper Sisters. Saturday evenings now, Dar has started. Like I'm talking 4:35, 5:30, sometime in there. Dar's back streaming, and then of course Saturday night is Paula, Journal Artista. Sunday, sometimes Laurel does. Now Laurel's in the middle of moving, but I'm thinking that once Laurel gets settled in her new house, she'll probably start streaming again on Sundays. Um, I love my Gold Rush. Friday nights is my Gold Rush night. I love Gold Rush. And I tweet and I talk to everybody. It's Friday night's a big night for me. It's my Gold Rush night. Oh. But really the only two shows that I watch like literally like while they're going on and tweet about. I mean, occasionally I'll watch another show, like, well, I won't get into which ones, but the two I always watch and tweet with fans, hashtags, and all that are Survivor and Gold Rush and The Dirt, which is like the chat. It's like a pre-chat show before Gold Rush. It's called The Dirt. It's like an hour before Gold Rush. And so, where the crews actually are sitting down and talking behind the scenes kind of thing. Those are the only two shows I really like have to watch live. Everything, I watch other shows too, but I DVR them and I don't tweet them live and all that. But those two shows I try, of course, good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, as we say in the South. Um, Love the all right. When you're saying that one, Ella, are you talking about the Oak Island? I'm not sure which one you're talking about there. I like the Oak Island thing that it just season 3 started with the two brothers searching for the treasure on Oak Island. But any of those, I don't mind DVRing and watching. And I can fast forward through commercials and all that. The only things that I like to watch live because I'm tweeting live is Survivor with all the girls here in our group that watch Survivor. And then sometimes, I'll do a little bit of fan, hashtagging with some fans and Jeff Probst during that, but not as much as Gold Rush. With Gold Rush, it's like all about the fans. I'm all over that. and sometimes, and the crew, because the show's already been filmed. They're back home now. So we're watching what happened in the summer and spring and early fall. And so they're all home. So a lot of the crew tweets now. Oh, and for those of y'all that didn't see, I did finish Juan. I posted it on Twitter and Facebook, but if you don't follow me on those things, let me show you here. I finished Juan as a new member, a new crew on Gold Rush, new crew member, and so I did finish him. So here's my drawing of Juan. He's a new member of Gold Rush, and I tweeted it to him and he liked it. I told him I'd retweet it on Friday night during the show. Because I think I've drawn, there's a few more, I won't say obscure, but not as prevalent on the show, a few mechanics and things that I can probably still draw, like from last season. But now there's some new crew members this season that I'm trying to draw. So I think this makes number 28 of all the Gold Rush drawings I've done, including Parker's dog and Parker's granddad. But anyway, this is Juan. Terry goes, oh, he's pretty. Love me a Latin man. Yeah. Okay, so okay, girls. You cougars, back in your cages. Oh, Sarah said it was like one of her brothers. Oh, thanks, guys. So, Whippy's talking in Spanish. Oh, okay. I can see a couple more little areas right here now that I kind of looked away and looked back. So, anyway. All right. One more right here. Okay, so I just kind of got to go through here. Oh, there's one right there. It's easy to miss those tiny little areas. But this is relaxing to me and just chatting with you guys, because a lot of times when I'm doing the projects, it takes a lot more concentration and I don't see near as much of the chat. I think I keep up with probably about a third of the chat when I'm really like into something and watching chat. But now when it's like this, I can watch it 100%. You know, I can see 100% of the chat when it's like this. Oh, you're talking about the Dutch man on Gold Rush, Tony. That's Tony Beats. Let's see if I have his. I got a picture of him and his daughter. Hang on. It's in my other book, though. Hang on. Because my other sketchbook. Now, see, now you're getting me off on Gold Rush. Hang on. Tony Beats and his daughter. He's the Dutch guy. When you said Dutch, I'm thinking the Lost Dutchman's Mine. That's what I was thinking, Oak Island and all that. So there's Tony Beats. And this is on a 12 by 12 paper instead of in the sketchbook, because I wanted to put two of them. That's his daughter. And so because I'm putting two faces on, this is a 12 by 12 paper rather than the 9 by 12 where I put just one face. So just so you can see, that's Tony and his daughter right there. Don't make me show them all to you. And then this is the Hoffman crew. This is there's the dad and the son. This is Todd, and that's his dad. So anyway, I won't go through them all. You can see they're all on my Facebook. I have a Facebook album with all my Gold Rush drawings, and it's public, so anybody can go look at it. Okay. Tony's, he's crusty. I call him crusty, Lynn. Let's put it that way. They have to bleep a lot of Tony's conversation out. He's crusty. But, I really, everybody says, are you on the Tony crew? Are you on the Todd crew? Are you on the Parker crew? Whose side, because there's three main crews, okay? And I really root for all the crews. I really want them all to do great. Parker got the most gold last year with $2 million in gold in one season. That was like the record. 2 million. And I'm not talking about like huge gold nuggets. I'm talking people, you got to see how they get this gold out of the ground. They'll go through truckloads of dirt through the wash plants to get the fine granule gold. I'm not talking about these big nuggets. This is like granules of gold that they mine out of dozers and truckloads and move piles of dirt. But Parker got the most last year with 2 million. I know I'm thinking about drawing mini beads. I know I am whippy. Many. There's a couple people on Tony's crew, and now Gene Cheeseman, the cheese man, he's moved over to Tony's crew. Parker's having a tough season this year. Yeah. Oh, Sarah, let me show you. All right, Rabbit Trail. So I did buy the Gold Rush magazine. It's Discovery magazines, and I know there's going to be a glare there. But anyway, so there's Parker, and there's Tony, and there's Todd. Those are the three main crew leaders. But in this magazine, even if you don't like the show Gold Rush, in here is all kinds of other kind of treasure hunting. There's other kind of treasure hunting things, going prospecting. Well, that's on Parker. But they have, it's mostly about Gold Rush, but they have little side, rabbit trails. Like here, different places in the country. Dinosaur bones in Montana. Emeralds in North Carolina. Diamonds in Arkansas. Gold in California. Maine has got gold in Maine as well. And we have just north of Denise, Dahlonega, they have gold panning up there. One of these days, one of these springs, I'm going to have to go gold panning in Dahlonega. So anyway, and there's all kinds of magazines out there on treasure hunting, specifically like Sapphires in Montana, Key West, Florida, of course, shipwrecks. Jade in California. So it's got little mini articles, archaeological things, your supplies for gold panning. It's just a little bit of all kinds of, metal detecting. So it's just kind of cool that there's Tony Beads. But anyway, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure some of y'all can hook up with each other. You're moving to Portland. Gonna see if you can find one. Yeah, I got mine at the grocery store, actually, Orla. The Gold Rush magazine. It's out in the bookstores now, but the first place I saw it was at my grocery store in the magazine section. So, yeah. I don't want to go diamond hunting. Husband won't go Arkansas. Sarah said she wants to go diamond hunting, but her husband won't go to Arkansas. Okay, let me get back to looking this over real quick. Oh, there's another little spot right there. Hubster and I have gone, we've gone, I wish I would have done more of that cache thing. Like Dar did the cache, going around looking for that. But we've gone like metal detecting. Now my metal detector's probably like really outdated now. But one year, I got to tell you this, we went to Savannah one year. Well, try to go to Savannah every year. And we have relatives there and everything. And I want to take Darcy to Savannah. Darcy swears if she goes to Savannah, she'll never leave Savannah. And it may be true. But anyway, Denise, this is when she was pregnant. Was she pregnant with Cam or was it Boo? my daughter Denise, and we went metal detecting. It was like, I think they had just had a storm or something, so it's like more apt to find washed up treasure and stuff. So we went metal detecting. I think she was like 6 months pregnant. And so we're on the beach and had our little shovels and we're gonna dig and so we got a good beep on something. So we started digging and digging. We're no experts, we just kept getting a beep and we just kept digging and digging and we were like 3 feet down. We're practically both sitting in a hole on the beach, starting to fill up with water. And then some like professional metal detectors came by and just looked at us like, those poor girls, bless their hearts. I know they had to be saying bless their hearts. Because we were sitting like in a 3 foot deep hole. Because we had such a good beat. We never did find anything in that hole. But, yeah, Savannah is beautiful, Ella. But anyway, but yeah, humid. Humid as can be, yeah. You like Savannah too, Lynn? Everybody loves Savannah. So anyway, yeah, me and Denise, just by 6 months pregnant, we're digging to China. Oh my goodness. All right, so, here's one more little area. Let me just kind of scan all the way around real quick. Oh, little area right there. So I know that there was a lot of bless their hearts going on that day for the two of us, I'll tell you. Okay, Uli. And hi, Uli, by the way. Yeah, I could probably use some food too. I haven't eaten yet. The cable guy came, I came straight to streaming. Carrie, why are you still, Carrie? I thought you were going to the city today. Or is that just you're just sitting there. You're not really here, Carrie. Carrie is going to go to the city today. Learn shading. But Shabs, aren't you in, well, you're not even in, you're in Canada. It's not like you can just drive over here like Darcy. Darcy lives like less than an hour, no traffic, if barring traffic. With traffic, it could take 2. But she's only an hour away from me. And we only see each other once a year. Will I put a gold tooth on him? I guess I could. I don't know. This is for Martha. It's for Martha. I don't know if Martha would want a gold tooth skull. That's a good idea. That is a good idea, Whippy. But since I'm giving it to Martha, I don't know. And there's an awesome new blick in Savannah. It's huge. I mean, that's the one where Cam goes up to the Copics and he goes into a trance. It's an awesome blick. I know they have 2 blicks, and this is the newer one. Well, I'll say new now. It's probably about 2 years old, but it's closest to the river. But a friend of mine went to Savannah, and I knew it was there, but I mean, I know SCAD is there, right? The Savannah School of Art and Design. But I just wasn't aware that they had, apparently, because he told me, a 3-story art supply store. SCAD has a 3-story art supply store in Savannah. It's like, oh no. Talk about enabling. So I think next time I'm going to have to hunt up the big SCAD art supply store. But, the Blick, we usually stay at the Marriott, which is like right on the river walk. And this Blick is like literally over 1 block and like less, you could walk to it, literally walk to it. Your next door neighbor's a grad of SCAD, yeah. They have a extension here in Atlanta, too. Okay, let's get back. Let's talk about the School of Art and Design and color in our color book. I'm sorry. I love my coloring. Just gotta say, I don't care. I love my coloring, and I don't care what y'all say. Makes no never mind to me. But nowadays, Blick Online, Jerry's Artorama. I mean, there's a ton of ones online. It's not like we can't get supplies, right, delivered, just don't drink and prime. Okay, I think I got all the buttons. So it's time to pick up some of my new Eileen the Enabler Elf, Caran Lumen. I don't know how you say it. Luminance. 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 I want to keep wanting to say Lumineer, like the paints. All right. So let's just put the black one back in its little room. This is their house. They have cushioned, nice padded rooms. So thanks again, Eileen. This just ding dong. This just delivered when I started my stream a couple hours ago. How long have I lived in Atlanta? Well, in the Atlanta area, we have been here. Hubster is retired military. When he retired, we have been here since not in this house. We've been in this house for 15 years. But he retired in 1990. 20 years in the military. I think it was 1990, 91. So we moved here after he retired, not in this house, but in the area. So what is that, 25 years? I cannot believe he's been retired. Well, when I say retired, after he retired, while he was in the military, he was going to school for human resources. So he got his master's. He was going for his PhD, and he was going to school the whole time we were in the military, here and there and here and there. Wherever we moved, he'd take a few courses here and there until he finally got his bachelor's degree, then his master's degree, and was working on his PhD. So he's been in HR. He's been at HR, Human Resources, since he retired. So it's not like he retired like literally at 40. So he's been in HR for 25 years. Yeah. And I grew up in the military. My dad was in the Air Force. So when you see me post things for Veterans Day, supporting the vets, the military, the soldiers, all that, yeah. I'm all over that. I mean, I'm all over as far as I support them. So, yeah, I would love to go to Oregon and visit. Isn't it in Oregon where Powell's is, Sarah? I follow Powell's online, and yeah, Powell's looks like the most awesome bookstore ever. Seriously, I think it's in Oregon. Is it Portland? Where is it, Sarah? Powell's. I can't remember. You too, Ella? Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. You can kind of see, and it does like a little bit of pink, but it's pure white paper, but it's kind of flashing out a little pink. But I think you can see where we've colored all the black. And so we probably have about 30 minutes worth of time left to do some coloring. Again, I know I'm not going to finish this. I'll finish it. I can finish it today, but I'm not going to finish it here on stream. Portland, yeah. So Powell's is your happy place? I can imagine, Sarah. I'd probably be living there. Powell's bookstore. If y'all are watching a recording, don't know, go look it up. Powell's, and they buy books too, don't they, Sarah? They'll buy books. Like, they'll buy from you, especially like first editions and things that they can resell. And I haven't looked into it, but Amazon has that too. You can sell your books on Amazon and then resell them. I've only seen, I think, 2 girls that I've really paid attention to that do that. They'll talk about their books buying and book selling. Like they'll buy awesome books for like on clearance at, bookstores for $1 or $2 and turn around and resell. And just look it up on YouTube. I don't really follow them. I mean, I like follow them, but not like keep up with them. But they resell books. Oh, now they'll go, oh my gosh, why are you telling everybody our secrets? Well, I guess it's not a secret if they're on YouTube, right? Talking about their book unboxing, book hauls, and book reselling. Anyway, yeah, but Pals does it. Yeah. Okay. So let's get on to, I wanted, like I said, some of these little pink, I want to do these little rose things, these little chrysanthemums, or I'm not sure what flowers are, but I want to do this particular flower. I'm going to do a base coat of pink. So again, when you're coloring these tiny little areas, see all those little lines? You don't have to color every little line. You don't have to get in there with them. You can, with a marker or a gel pen or a Verithin and color every little line like that. I'm going to show you how you can do this real quick. Okay, and I'm only going to use maybe 2 pencils. Okay, so I'm going to start with pink, and I'm just going to put a whole base coat, barely pushing. This is the new ones. Oh, Eileen, you're so bad. You're such an enabler. So I'm just putting a thin coat over the whole flower. Okay, and I'm having to get used to this. I don't want to, I'm not pushing near as hard. Well, not that I push very hard with the Prismacolors either, because I do keep a light touch with my color pencils, but these just feel different. The Caran d'Ache Luminance. And so they just feel different. So I'm just having to kind of like get used to them, because it has a different feel and a different pressure than the waxiness of the Prismacolor. I know. I do like them. That's what I was saying, Jean. She's got me enabled. She's got me enabled. I can't afford $600 boxes of pencils. No, I can't afford it, Eileen. All right, so there we go. So there's just a solid pink, right? Oh, yeah, thanks. Lynn goes, and they look nice in your hand, too, Dee Dee. You're just as bad, Lynn. You're as bad. I've already pet them, sniffed them, loved them, touched them, petted them. I haven't licked them. I've kissed them. I haven't licked them. Sandy Jones, did you lick them? All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to just stick to this box for right now. So I think I'm going to have to do let me do a test with these 2 colors here. I took out it's kind of like a sienna, and maybe it's like a maroon, okay? I'm going to just, I don't want to do it on here. Here's my paper. I want to just do a little, to see what colors they are. I'm going to have to make me a chart, of course. I always make a chart with every new color, pencils, paint, whatever. So I don't know what these colors look like, is what I'm saying. So the sienna is it's kind of like Georgia clay in the acrylic paint version. It's a little more orange, and I'm sure they have a darker brown color, more of a sienna color in the full spectrum. This is just in this set, it looks kind of like it's not as brown as a sienna. Okay, so I'm going to see about this color, which looks kind of like a maroon. I'm trying to find something to go with my pink to blend the 2 together. So this is more, it's kind of like, it's not quite maroon, it's not brown, but I'm going to use it with the pink. It's probably more, let me go over it with the white just to kind of lighten it and see what it really, the true color, Yeah, that'll work with the pink. Okay, so I'm going to go with that. And again, I don't know what color it is. It's 6901. What does it say on there? I need my magnifying glass to see these tiny, especially with the light. It's not quite an alizarin crimson. What is that called? I can't read it, guys. Sorry, I can't read that. Let me see if I can read this one. Or is that even the name? That may not be the name of the color. Anyway, It's 6901. It's kind of a maroon, and I'm going to use that for the shading, the shading of the in the pencil. It's not a moron. So I'm going to use my pink, this maroon color, and the white to shade in. And again, it's better if I bring it up to the camera rather than bringing the camera down. Let me get a box to put this on. Let me get my, hang on. Let me just get my Amazon box. Let me just get my Amazon box to prop up, turn it upside down. No addresses will show, and I'll prop it up with that. I keep the lid. I have the lid sitting here so I can stare at it. I keep knocking it over. All right, there we go. That's better. Because if I do the zoom with the lighting situation, the lighting's going to fluctuate in and out. I already explained all that, and so it's just better if I bring it up for whatever reason rather than dropping the zooming in and having the light like go weird. It's easier for me to bring this up and the light not go weird. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use our box. All right. So we got about 15 minutes probably till I'm out of time. Maybe 20. We'll see. So if this just abruptly ends, just know that I'm thanking Eileen profusely for enabling me with the new Caran d'Ache Luminance. She gifted me this today. And thanks for just hanging out. All right, so what I want to do is at least color in a couple of these little flowers so you get, or, a couple different colors. But I'm going to color like all the chrysanthemums or whatever. I'm going to color all them the pink. So there's one there. There's one up here. There's one right here. So there's there's 4 chrysanthemums. And I don't know if that's an actual chrysanthemum. Some kind of, leafy, fluffy. They're all going to get this color. And I think, no, that's part of the leaf behind it. It doesn't have the lines in it, so it must be part of the leaf behind it. Okay. So now I'm going to take the maroon. Hey, Carrie, there you are. Yeah, I thought you were going to go to the city. So what I'm going to do is behind the edges of every one of these little leaves, I'm just going to barely go in there and shade. And I don't know if you'll see it here, but I'll bring it up to the camera. But I'm going to go like behind each one of the little fronds, petals. And I'm barely touching. And I have to get used to these new pencils. So I'm just going to shade behind each petal, not in any particular order, just where. So what I'm trying to show you is you don't have to, just because there's a lot of detail and a lot of little bitty lines in an image in these color books, doesn't mean you have to go in there and do everything with a tiny little pen or marker. You can do general areas like this and still have an awesome effect. Without doing microscopic coloring, which it seems like some of those books are really like trying to get you to do. Right? Who else is on today? That's all I know that's on today. Like I said, Joyce is usually on at 1, but since she's not feeling well, she has a cold, but she's usually on at 1. And I just kind of since I knew she wasn't streaming, and Packer Dye couldn't get her camera to connect with Ustream this morning, and Packer Dye doesn't have a lot of time to fussy with that stuff. She had 1 hour to stream, and 30 minutes of it was taken up trying to figure out the camera, and it didn't work, so she had to leave. So I'm just wanted to test out my new modem and the, bandwidth and the strength and whatever, All right, so I'm just kind of going in there. All right, so I went under every little petal. Now, if you want to accent certain petals, you can kind of like pull some of that out. So it's not just like just a line behind. In other words, you can kind of start pulling it out a little bit. And I'm barely touching. I mean, this pencil likes just coming right off. The pigment is coming right off onto this. And this is just like copy paper thin. This is just like copy paper type. I tore it, cut it out of the book. And then some areas I might want to push just a little harder just to get a little bit darker. A couple little areas that are really dark in there. Right in the little, like, the darkest shadowed areas. And the little points where the petals meet. I'll hold that up too before I do any more blending. And again, I think that's a leaf. I'm going to color it as a leaf. Anyway. All right. See how I just got a little darker right in where the two meet? Like right there. Right there. I just got a little deeper color right in some of those point areas right in there. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to my pink and kind of go on top of the maroon and blend in from the maroon into the pink. Okay, so let me just do one little area here so you can kind of see where, right there. So I don't know if you can see the difference between, say, this and that. It may not show up very well. So just take a look right here at this right quick. Now I'm going to go in here and put some in there so you can see the comparison. So I'm just going on top of the maroon and kind of pulling the maroon and adding a little darker pink. So I'm just kind of blending the maroon and the pink. Oh, good, Sarah. All right. Now, before we end, the stream stops, I want to get in here with the white. And I always double check my white to make sure there's no pigment on there from any other color, because you don't want to drag any pigment. Like if I went on the black here and then pick some up in here and then go over here, it's going to get the black on the here. So now I'm going to go on here with the white and just add a touch of hot. Now, again, I'm not trying to stay in those little bitty lines. Let me see if I can show you what I'm doing. So you can see the petals. Look at the petals are going this way. Okay, see the little tiny petal lines are going this way? When I'm coloring it right here, though, I'm going across like that. I'm brightening it up right over the black line. Who is that? Oh, I don't know. So, and then if you can just kind of go back and forth between, I'm just using 3 colors. I'm just using pink, maroon, and white. Okay. When are you going to design? Oh, God. The closest I've come is my Inktober's, my 31 drawings, and those I'm printing out on craft paper and coloring them with color pencils. So these were in my Inktober 31 drawings, and so I'm printing them out on craft color cardstock, and then I've already done a couple. I did this one, and I did the clownfish. Those are the only 2 I've colored. I printed out the sea turtles, and I printed out the angelfish, and I printed out the starfish. So I'm going to color them all eventually. But those are the only ones. And I bought, the craft cardstock was on sale at Hobby Lobby. This is normally, let's get the light up. This is normally only $4.99 for a pack of 50 cardstock. And it was on sale and it goes on sale all the time. Michael's and Hobby Lobby. It was 50% off. So I got it for $2.50. But I just haven't had a chance to really think about putting them on a PDF or something. And, I thought about it when I was doing the Inktober. when I was doing the Inktobers, I thought about doing them into a color book, but I, hadn't really got enough time to really have gotten into thinking about it. I've been too busy coloring. So again, I'm just going back over the maroon, pulling out some of the, and see, I'm not necessarily going with the lines that are on the color book. You can go across the top of those lines, especially if you have a light touch. You're not really bearing down and covering up the little illustrative lines in the image because you're doing such a light touch. But what I'm trying to show you is you don't have to get in there with a little tiny gel pen to color a pretty flower. Just because it's got a lot of little detail lines doesn't mean you have to color in those lines. You can color outside the lines. You are the boss of your color book. So yes, I'll show you the cover of the tattoo book again. You are the boss of your color book. Don't have to color it. Just because there's some lines a certain way doesn't mean you have to color them that way. So there we go. So it's a little chrysanthemum type flower. And again, I'm just using the new Caran d'Ache pencils that Eileen, I was going to say enabled, but she gifted me. Because now she knows I have to buy more. So this is the cover of the book. Ultimate Tattoo Color Book. I got it at Books A Million. And it's thick. It's a big, thick book. But the paper's thin. It's like copy paper thin. So, but it's one-sided. It is one-sided images. So, but it's thin. So any marker is going to go through this. Okay, it'll go through. But I plan on cutting them out, tearing them out, cutting out the images, and using them in my art journal or my glue book design thingies and all that. But, see, like, look at all those little birds. So, anyway, Darcy also got this book, and I think it's $16.97. I'm sure you can look on Amazon. Ultimate Tattoo Coloring Book. Amazing Body Art Imagery to Color. Who's it published by? Chartwell Books is who put it out. So you can probably find it on Amazon. Now, if you do use Amazon, don't forget, guys, y'all all here, and if you're watching the recording, our friend Paula, Journal Artista, has a store, an Amazon store. So if you use journal/038-20, then Paula gets a couple cents off of the purchases. Now, it doesn't cost you any more. She doesn't know what you buy or anything like that, but Amazon cuts that check, so to speak. So it doesn't come out, it doesn't raise the cost of anything you're buying, is what I'm saying. So check out Paula. Yeah. Journal Artista on her website. She also has some Amazon, not just her Amazon link, but she also on her A store, she has recommendations and her favorites and broken out by topic and stuff. So check out our journal art. We call her our Journal Artista. We claim her. And Paula has visited here. She did get to visit me a couple years ago when she came down here on business. So anyway, guys, so I'm going to do the same thing I did here with those pink flowers. I think I might have time to do maybe one other flower. I think this is like an iris. Again, I'm trying to just use the colors in my box here. So I think what I'm going to do is now I'm going to go in with lavender. I only have 20 colors that I'm picking. I'm trying to stay in my new colors, Let's go with the lavender, and what's this? Let me check it out here on my little tester sheet. This is like a lavender, which I want to do these like, I don't know, some kind of irises here. So I'll use this white, and then let me test. What's this one? Ooh, that's pretty. It's kind of a brown. Again, I'm not sure the names. I'm going to have to get my magnifying glass out to see if the names are actually on here. But it almost looks, might be a brown or a very, very dark purple. But I'm going to use it as a dark purple. So I'm going to use that, my lavender, and my white. Let me keep those two separate because I want those two to be for the pink flowers. So we're going to go in here again. I'm going to take the light lavender and I'm just going to color that whole iris. Maybe not the very, very center. That might be yellow. You know how those irises have the yellow stamen in there. So I'm not going to color that, but I'm going to go all the way around everything but that center little iris area. I'll show you here as I get it colored in. And this I recognize as that's like an iris bud. So that'll be coming out of the green. So let me just put a coat. And I'll do all the irises the same. So all the flowers will be consistent as far as the type. And I don't know, I mean, I'm thinking this is a bearded iris, but don't quote me. I'm not a botanist. Just like I said, when I'm doing the birds, I'm not an ornithologist. When I do the bugs, I'm not an ichthyologist. Okay, so I got a light coat of lavender, except for where I'm going to put some yellow in there for the bearded iris part. They could be orchids. Well, now they're bearded irises now, Whippy. They could be orchids. No, we'll make these be the orchids right there. Okay, this is going to be the bearded irises. Now, I really think they are irises, and this is why. Because I recognize the buds. The buds look like that. I don't think orchids look like that. I don't think orchid buds look like that. It looks like the bearded iris. Look, see if you can see that kind of close up. It looks like a bearded iris to me, Whippy. All right, so now I'm going to take the brown, and the same kind of way I did these. These are tiny, you know. You don't have to like don't get all, you know, cray-cray. You know, just kind of, you know, enjoy. You're the boss of your color book. So again, I'm not worried about every little line, every little tiny, you know, staying in those little bitty lines. I'm just kind of shading with this. I guess it's kind of a deep, it's kind of like a purpley brown. I wish I could know the colors. I'm going to have to look these up. I'm going to have to start a chart. I have to start a chart, Eileen. Maybe a little bit in the bud there. So, all right, so there's the, now I put in some of the shading there. All right, now I'm going to go back with the lavender and start kind of pulling in and on top of some of that browny purple color. So here, you can see right there. I'm going to have to post this new tattoo color book on I have a color book album on Facebook. And again, it's public. Anybody can go. It's all my color books, and when I collect them, add a new one, color a page in the color book, or if I cut something out, if I color something and cut it out and use it in an art journal or some other book, all that is in my color book Facebook album. Okay. And there's all kinds of color book people to follow on Facebook too, if you really want to, you know. All right, so I'm going to make sure that's green right in there, those little stems. All right, so you can see how it's shading in. Now let me go ahead and put some white on there too before the show ends. So I'm going to go in here and just blend in some white highlights. Again, I'm trying to use my limited palette here of the 20 set that Eileen sent me. So now I'm going to get a yellow, kind of an orangey yellow. And I'm going to put a little bit of that orange in there, kind of a yellow orange. Then I'm going to get the lemon yellow and kind of get in there with the bearded iris kind of area. And I don't really remember which parts are yellow and which part are, I just don't really have a picture of one in front of me. But I'm just going to add a few shades of yellow and maybe even a little yellow ochre in there. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of yellows and oranges and ochre in there in the center. And then I'm going to take my lime green and color in that whole stalk with the lime green. Then I'm going to go back and shade with the darker green. Let me see what color green this is. Kind of like a forest green. So I'm going to go in there with the forest green and just pull in a little bit of that. Looks awesome. Then I'm going to go back with the lime green and blend that forest green in. Isn't this fun? It is to me. So there you go. So you can kind of see the lime green, the forest green, and then a little bit of yellow in there. And then I might go in again with a little bit of the maroon and just kind of, or the purpley brown, and kind of do a little bit of shading on top of the yellow just to kind of push that back a little. So you kind of see there? A little bit more of the lavender. So I hope y'all just had fun hanging out and doing more chatting than demoing. You might have got a few tips here, but you did get to see my new pencils. I know, they are nice. They are nice. Now I have to get used to the blending, and I think when I go to make me a color chart, I'll do like, I'll take each pencil. This is what I do when I make charts with pencils, is I'll put the most pressure, and then I start just working my way out real. This is what I do. And even with the watercolor pencils, then or the Neo colors, I'll do this. And then I'll put a wash of, now these are not water soluble, guys. Don't let me confuse you. But if I'm doing watercolor pencils or any kind of charting, if they are water soluble type of medium, then I will put the water on them too. But this is how I chart my just regular pencils like that. I'll do the darkest it'll get, and then I'll just continuously work lighter, lighter, lighter. And just see what, how light you can get it. Like that. So, you're welcome, Uli. If those just coming in, Eileen, the Enabler Elf, gifted me these literally while I started the stream. Before I had even started the coloring of this, the doorbell rang. And FedEx delivered Amazon Prime box with the Caran d'Ache 20. She's enabling me to buy these. Now, let me reiterate this. These pencils are like, if you buy them by the individual, they're like $5 each, maybe $6. So this was not a cheap box. So I'm glad she put it on. She gave Paula's A store number. So Paula probably made $10 off of this one. Just kidding. Yeah. So anyway, because I love my Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2 water soluble crayons. And I've been wanting to try these because Kathy Cass has sworn by them. Well, I think Eileen actually has some now, or had some pretty recently. And so, but they're expensive. So what does Eileen do? She gifts me a box of 20, and now, you know what that means, right? Bigger boxes of colors have to be in the works. And in the meantime, before the doorbell rang, Jess was trying to enable me with Copics. Now, I know about Copics because my grandson uses those and has since he started drawing manga when he was our age. So he's always, I know how much Copics are, and I know the dealio with Copics. But now Jess is trying to get me into them. So between Jess and Eileen, I probably will not eat for months. But I love them, Eileen. It's very sweet and very generous of you to send those to me. I really, really, really appreciate it. So I'm going to color the whole thing with just my box of 20. And I don't know if I'll put a gold tooth in there because this is going to Martha. If y'all know, in our group, Martha, today's her birthday. So it probably won't get done today. And but I'm going to send this page to Martha when we're done. So, yes. Bring on the grilled cheese. That's right, Jean. Because that's all I'm going to be able to eat after Eileen and Jess. Oh, so thanks, guys, for being here. And again, this is the color book that I'm coloring out of. I'll probably wait. I'll post this in my Facebook color book album folder, if you want to call it that. The fold. It's called an album on Facebook. It's like your folder. I'll post this and this picture in my together when I finish this. So I love them. That's so stinking sweet. Thank you so much, Eileen. So again, my enabler elf, Eileen the enabler elf. Wait a minute. Let me get her little hat on here. Here she goes. Carrying the little receipt. Oh, there's a whole story behind this. If you don't follow us, you'll have to wait till Christmas to see what kind of trouble my elf gets into. Probably buying new pencils. All right, guys. We'll see you all later. Thanks so much. Aw. Oh, they're awesome, Eileen. Eileen, they're awesome. Thank you again. So we'll see you guys. Well, I won't be at Paula's. I'll be at. I'll see y'all if y'all do the group Survivor tweets. I'll see y'all tonight. Bye, guys. And I'm going to color the flowers. We're going for it. This marker's almost out. Okay, the other thing I noticed, I'm going to put something under here because I'm picking up the texture. Oh, good grief. Who's that? Is that my cable guy back again? Hang on, guys. Okay, I do not, hang on. All right, it was FedEx delivering an Amazon Prime box. And I don't know if y'all saw that thing on Facebook. And I know I didn't order anything, but let me say, I saw this thing on Facebook. It said, "Don't drink and prime." I think it was Mel. And it showed a picture of someone's front porch piled up with Amazon boxes. And the caption was, "Don't drink and prime." Somebody just sent me, and I don't see an address. It's Eileen. I just saw this. Eileen. ETEE. It's a gift from Eileen. Look what that girl did. Eileen. Oh my gosh, Eileen. We were just talking about these and that they're too expensive for me to try. So Eileen. Oh my gosh. Let's bust them open, people. We're using them. Thank you so much. try the white. Sandy, don't open it. It's sticking. Oh my God. Eileen, I've never even seen one in person. I've never touched one. We gotta pet it for a minute. Oh my gosh. They just delivered it right in the middle of the stream. How perfect is that, Eileen? So Eileen is my enabler elf. In this case, she's going to enable me. She started me off with 20. Oh my gosh. Jess is going to make me buy Copics. Oh, let's pet for a minute. Wait a minute. We got to pet it for a minute. Well, I'm not going to lick them, Sandy. Sandy. You have no idea how hard it was not to say anything while I was talking about, because before I hit record, guys, I was talking about the kind of pencils I use, the 3 different brands I've tried, well, 3 major brands I've tried, and we're talking about the Caran d'Ache ones, the Luminance, that Kathy Cass swears by, but they're like $5 or $6 a pencil. And so I said, I've just never seen them in my local stores, my Blick or anything. So Eileen, pet it, smell it, listen to the angels singing. Yes, I hear them. Don't make me try to make an angel singing sound, Vicky. You'll run from the room, Miss Vicky B. Well, wait for it, guys. We're going to enjoy the moment. But anyway, so let me ask you, Eileen, were you drinking? Did you drink in Prime? Eileen. Okay, so I'm going to keep my little thing in my little gift from Eileen. I'm going to put that in my journal. My non-dated journal, Miss Vicky B. My non-dated journal. I don't know if you were here last night. We were talking about journals last night, Vicky B. We're going to enjoy the moment. So just, Anyway, my friend Darcy came over and we did a 3-hour stream last night and we talked about planners. She has her 2 main planners, is the one that you just reviewed, not the newest video, which I haven't watched. I just saw you put a new one up, Vicky B. But the other one is it called Happy Planner? Oh my gosh. I think Darcy is engaged to that planner. I think they have exchanged rings. I think they are engaged in that planner. Okay, so let's open it. It says Luminance 69. Ooh, the box is padded. I can feel it underneath. Oh my gosh, we're going to do a full review. We're going to do a whole review of this. Yeah, we haven't even started the skull yet. Look, it's a padded. They live in this house. They live in a padded house. They have a special house. I know, she does too, Vicky. You have to go, when you get time, to try to just, scan through it. Scan through that video. Hang on. We're sniffing now. It has its own scent. It doesn't smell like a new book. It doesn't smell like Crayolas. It has its own scent. I don't know, Eileen. Okay, so here we go. Permanent pencils with a smooth lead, exceptional light fastness. Crayons permanent. Oh, I'm going to start reading it in French. Crayon permanente. Spanish. Okay. And they're Swiss made, if y'all don't know that Caran d'Ache. Now, I do have the Neo Color, too, the water-soluble crayons, which I love. And I'm sure I'm going to love these, too. They're just so dang expensive. Eileen. All right, so here we go. They each have their own little nook. They each have their own little pencil groove. Can you see that? They each have their own room. They each have their own room in the house. Okay, we're going to pet them for a minute. Hey, Jan. We're unboxing a set of Caran d'Ache 20 Luminance color pencils sent to me by Eileen. the enabler elf. Little gift. She says, hi, Dee Dee. You need to try them. LOL, Eileen. In other words, she's kind of like, how is it Bill Cosby used to say, a junkie dealer? Remember, I've told the joke before. It's a Bill Cosby joke from back in the 60s. Anyway, and so that's what you do. You get you hooked on these things. You get you hooked on a supply. Then you can't find them anymore, or you can't afford them. No, Jess, wait. Everybody says, scribble the white one. Scribble with the white one. All right, Jess, we'll pull out the virgin white pencil. It is called Permanent Color LF1. And then it has, I don't know, some other, right? I think it might be, there's the number, the code. It's hard to see because it's in light, it's in like a light gold color. Swiss made by Caran d'Ache. And I'm pronouncing that right. We're just going to pet it for a minute, Jess. All right, let's compare. All right, so this is, some black paper here. Well, I can't really tell on that. Let me get it, because this isn't padded. It's just one piece of paper on the table. I need more padding. I gotta have some padding. All right, let me get out some black paper here so it can have a little cushion. A little cushion. Is the suspense killing you guys? Okay. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Ah. That's nice. They are bright white too. Now see, I have to compare how do they feel when they go over dried acrylic paint. That's my next thing. There's only 5 left in stock at Amazon, Eileen. Vicky B just said, there's only 5 left in stock at Amazon. Don't drink in Prime. Oh, it's nice. They are smooth. Smooth as silk. And I bet they don't break either, like Prisma colors, right? They're not going to break. Awesome. Thank you so much, Eileen. Oh my gosh, you know who's going to love these? She loves them, Eileen. Look, she's petting them. Oh my goodness. They don't break. Now, Dee Dee needs to order a bunch of the white. Well, I want to play. See, now, you see, you came in at the stream at the wrong time. Well, or the right time, whichever way you look at it. Christmas morning, it would take February. Oh my gosh. Yes, we kind of do drag out the gift thing in Hubster. Hubster gets it from the grandfathers. I'm not going to say grandparents. He gets this kind of stuff from the grandfathers. Okay, let's go open gifts. Everybody gathers around. Okay, wait a minute. Let me make myself a soda. Oh, good grief. We're out of ice. I'll be right back. I'm going to run down to the store and get some ice. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with the ice. Oh, wait. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to make me a sandwich. Wait a second. That's grandfather's thing, But yeah, we drag out the gift giving. I am savoring the moment. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to test the white on top of a color. Like I did the little acrylic test the other day with the, let's get a purple here. That'll be, now it probably won't show up very well in the black, but I'm just going to, just wait for it. It'll just take a minute. I'm just going to put out a drop. Uh-oh, I'm out of purple. I'll be right back. I got to go get it. There we go. I just had some crusty bits on there. Okay, so I'm just going to put out some purple here. Because what I want to do is test out the color I want to test out the white on top of that. So hang on. I'm going to dry it first. I'm not going to ruin my pencil. So let me get a baby wipe. Clean off my hand. Let's do a heat gun. We'll get to the skull in a minute. And yes, we'll be using some of these lovelies. Wait for it. Yep, Sandy. Okay, so I think it's dry. All right, where's my pencil? Oh, here it is. All right, let's see what it looks like going over. It covers it nice. It covers it just great. Awesome. Now, see how much brighter it is? Let me show y'all here. See, when you go over acrylic, look how much brighter it is over acrylic than it is over the just paper. Can you see? Well, I know there's a glare. Hang on, guys. Let me... Okay. Maybe we'll just... Let's come back to Mama. Here, let me get something that it'll read. Good grief. I got to turn the light off and back on. Okay. Well, anyway... It's the white is very vibrant over the acrylic. That's what I wanted to see. It is a big difference. It's so much more vibrant when you color over acrylic paint than it is when you just color on something. The acrylic paint just pulls the vibrancy of the pigment out. Oh, okay. All right. So here's, well, I don't know that we'll be able to really tell. There's just white on the plain paper, no acrylic. Okay, hang on. It's just so smooth feeling. And I can tell, look how it so easily shades out. See how easily that shades out? Okay, I know it's the, hang on, this is bugging me. Oh. Okay. Now, let's get the white. Prismacolor. And I can tell that it's, the white doesn't look that much different. This one is a little bit brighter, the Caran d'Ache, but I can tell a difference in the feel. I can tell a difference in the feel. And this one blends out quicker. I can get the tones quicker on this one. The Prismacolor doesn't want to tone out as easily. I'm having to really be careful with the pressure to like pull it out. I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully it does. This one, the Caran d'Ache, you could really just tone it. See, can you tell how easily that toned out? And black, I mean, a white pencil on black may not be the best test here. Okay. But it does feel different. Let me see if I can think of a good description. Well, I'm in the zone here. Let's see. Definitely can feel the wax in the Prismacolor. But it also doesn't, like, you know, I give it harder pressure and then kind of blend it out. You can do it quicker with this. With the Caran d'Ache, it blends out, fades out quicker than I can do with the Prismacolor. The Prismacolor keeps wanting me to push harder to get it to do, you know, it's just a little bit different feel. It's hard to describe. I've created, Jessica, Eileen, you've created a monster. Okay, I'll move on. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I'm excited. Oh, let's test it on the back of the craft color. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. This is on craft color, but dang, the lighting is just horrible. Okay, so we're going to do, here is the Prismacolor, and I'm pushing real hard, and then I'm just going lighter and lighter just to see how different tones I can get with the one white. Now let's do it with the Caran d'Ache. I'm going to push really hard and then just try to... It's just a different feel. And there's less... on the Caran d'Ache, there's less, I don't want to say tooth marks, but there's less pencil grain mark. Let me see if I can get y'all to see that. I don't know. I might, all right, yeah, you can kind of see it. Well, see how you can see all the marks? Now, I haven't tried to blend anything yet, but see how you can see the marks with the Prismacolor? You don't see those marks as much. It is awesome. Oh my gosh. I'm going to go broke. Eileen's going to bust me out. Broke. I'm going to be broke. With her and Copics from Jazz, I'm going to be broke. Buying these suckers. Maybe you should have just got me a box of white. Okay, we'll move on. Let's do another color. All right. I have to play. Yes, smoother. It is smoother, Jess. It does. It looks smoother, and it is smoother when I'm looking at it in person. So to me, that means that to try to get rid of any pencil-y marks, if you want to get rid of the pencil-y marks, then this will obviously be easier to do so. Let's go with a yellow and an orange and try to make a yellow and red and see if we can make a pretty orange. Okay. Is the pencil harder? It is. It's a little harder. Well, it's soft. They're very soft, but they don't feel as waxy. You can almost feel like the wax in the Prismacolor. You can feel the wax. Okay. These are as soft, but they're you can tell that the lead, or I know it's not lead, the pigment, like with the Prismacolor, you can feel it moving down. See how it's flattening out? You can feel it going down. Okay, you can feel it smashing, so to speak. These, it's not doing that. It's not mashing down as fast. Okay, see, look. See, it's not hardly mashed down at all. They're still soft, but they're not as waxy, but you can tell these are going to last a lot longer. The Verathins are harder, yes. The Verathins, the Prismacolor Verathins are harder than the Luminance by Caran d'Ache. The new, yes, that's right. The new pencils are not mashers. That's a nice way to say it. But look, you can see how quickly this one went down, and I pushed really hard on both of them. I don't know if you can see. They're both sharp. So it just doesn't go, you can tell they're going to last longer. But they are, let's do a little blend. Let's do it on white, though. Let's do it on white, because I want to take a red and a yellow and see what we can make with the orange. Let's just do it on, no, I don't want to save that. Let me get another piece of paper. Okay, so this is just a piece of cardstock. Oh, sorry, guys. The camera is just not behaving today. Hey. Okay. All right, so we're going to go with some red and yellow. And it's probably not going to show up. I know. Hey, Ash. All right, so let's just let's go down here. They feel really good. And by the way, this is a pencil show. And this is just 110-pound weight Staples cardstock. Okay, so I want to kind of do a longer line here. So let me get a little darker. Thanks so much, Eileen. This is awesome. So what I'm going to do is about like that. I can tell it's much easier to fade out a color. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the yellow and I'm going to go the other way over the top. So I'm going to start with a little bit more pressure. And see how they feel like, how they're blending. I don't know if y'all can tell. Can y'all see it? Yeah, you can. So it made a pretty orange with the yellow and the red. Because see, this is what red looks like when it fades out. This is what yellow looks like when it fades out. And here's where they combine. All right, now let me just do a little bit of, I want to try to do, get a real smooth blend. So I'm going to just take some. Okay, there we go. All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Art in the Morning. This is an impromptu, and we're going to color something out of this tattoo coloring book that we got. I say we because Darcy Glam and she was here last night. We did a 3-hour stream, and we had gone to the bookstore, and this is the one we bought. We each bought this one, and we colored in it last night. So anyway, today is one of our friends' birthday. Her name is Martha. Martha loves the skulls and the sugar skulls and Day of the Dead stuff. Frida, and oh, let me show you while I'm here. Let me show you this. I have it, keep it hanging on my wall. This is one of the things that Miss Martha made me and sent it to me. It's a Frida spoon. It's a spoon that she's painted. There's her signature. And embellished, wire wrapped, beaded. That's the hanger right there. So let me kind of take you through it. And I know my light's going to be different on each thing. But this is what Miss Martha, there's a little skull right there, a little skelly there. And then this is all hand painted by Martha. It's a little, there we go. So Martha makes these, and this is one she gifted me. There's a little bird right there. Isn't it gorgeous? Yes, we streamed last night, Vicki. It's recorded. Me and Darcy Glam came over. So this is made by Miss Martha. You can see it's a large spoon. There you can see the size of it right there. And I keep it hanging on. I have a wallow pride, I guess, where some of the hanging things that people send me, I keep them hanging right there at the entrance of my studio. And so this hangs proudly right there. So anyway, so it's Miss Martha's birthday, so we're going to color this for Miss Martha. All right, let me hang her back up. And I have no plans, no anything to color them. I'm thinking though, I think I want these in, and Vicky's here. She likes the skulls too. Don't you think, Vicky, that in the eye socket, the nose, and the side of the mouth, there should be black? Wouldn't that be the best to have that all black in there? And I'm wondering if I should just color it in with a Sharpie or paint it in with black paint. You know, in those areas, because that'll really make the brightness of the flowers if we color the flowers really bright. And sorry guys, it is going to keep flashing out every time I move. Let me try to refocus it though, because now that I've moved, let me get something to focus on here. Hopefully that's better. I don't know. I'm zoomed in. I think maybe I need to zoom out. Sorry guys, it just changes every time. I'll zoom out one. I'm just using this as a focus card here because I think it helps autofocus. Let me brighten it back up a little. We're going to try that. There we go. Yeah, black in there. But I don't know if I want to do it with acrylic paint or if I want to do, let's see, maybe move that a little bit that away. If I want to do it with marker, or do I want to, oh, Jess is going to try to get me to do Copics. Leave them white and color the flowers pastel. No, I think we're going to do black and brights, Jess. We're going to go with the brights. Yeah, and so yeah, some sugar skulls have daisies in the eye sockets. That's true. This one doesn't have any daisies. Do I need to draw daisies in there? Look at all those flowers. Do I need to put daisies in there? You guys tell me. Hey, Sandy. How you doing? Good to see you. Has teardrops for eyes. Okay, I guess they're all different then, right? Yeah, okay. Can you show the spool? The spool recorded. I'm not, oh, the spoon? Oh, this, yeah, it's recorded. The spoon's recorded. I found you. Yeah, it's recorded. The spoon, yes. Okay, so let's go ahead. I think I'll just go with a Sharpie. Now I'm going to have to get up maybe a micron for the edges, though, because it's pretty, and Sharpies have a tendency to kind of go gray or blue. So we'll see. But it's a one-sided, so it doesn't matter if it goes through. You know, if you're doing it in a book, you want to make sure if you're using any markers or anything. Now this is thick. This is like copy paper thin. Okay, it's like copy paper. Paint a little world in the eye sockets. Miss Vicky B. Look at all this I have to color. This is going to take a while as it is. I think I need to go with marker. This is probably going to be, well, this will be good for this, but it's going to be a little big for some of the other areas. But I'm going to color all the black background and then